Good morning, everyone. I come to you all with very bad news. I've been using this slideshow for a long time. It's not centered. I just realized I accidentally clicked on it, and it's not centered. Hold on. It won't let me center it. It's always off by 1 pixel. Now it's actually centered. It's closer, but it's not been centered this whole time. It's been shifted about 10 pixels to the right. I've never noticed. So, that's fucked up. I'm sorry, everyone. You're completely welcome to, you know, dislike, unsubscribe, and post my address on Kiwi Farms for this. I deserve it, considering the circumstances. But, good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a nice, you know, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's been a little bit. I think the last time I did a stream was, like, 2 weeks ago, almost? I've been, busy with other stuff. Been doing a lot of work for, I guess, preparations and research for the Venus video. That's going to be a lot bigger than the Mercury one. I guess I'll say that now. But hope you're all having a good one. Welcome. So, I don't really have a ton on this stream that's going to be that engaging. I have a bunch of weekly stuff I haven't gotten around to doing because I haven't been playing Warframe that much this week. I'm going to be honest with you all when it comes to what I've been up to. Let me go ahead and get this switched to in-game. So, today's live reaction was made by me in like 30 seconds because I couldn't think of anything. So, I'm sorry, you all are just going to kind of have to cope with it. Real and true. Thank you for the D&D check. Anyhow, go ahead and get this situated. Thank you, Salus. Very cool. So I'm just gonna knock out my weekly stuff. We're gonna talk about things. This is a live Nitro reaction from last stream. True. We'll knock out some weekly stuff, talk about things, and yeah, that'll be that, I guess. Also, thank you for stopping by, Phoenix. I do also want to make one thing, like, there's an elephant in the room in the Warframe community right now. I think most people here are probably thinking about it, and it's, if we look at my loadouts, right, it's this lady right here. I'm not going to talk about the Valkyrie rework, and the reasoning for that is because it's not fucking out yet. I'm not going to pass judgment on something I haven't played with. I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion on something like that, because, A, you know, you're allowed to have your opinion on anything, regardless of how good or bad it is. It's just how you feel about a topic. But I also feel like you can sort of preemptively make, you know, some predictions on the viability of something based on what you know about a subject. But it's not out yet, and I'm not going to melt down over it until I play with it. I feel like I've been kind of shitposting about it with my friends, with, like, I'm gonna make Valkyrie slop content and shit like that, but it's like, no, I'm not touching this with the 10-foot pole. I don't particularly care. If her rework releases in its current state, I will probably talk about it on stream when it comes out, like I've done with everything else, but I think it's kind of absurd to lose my mind over something that isn't out. Don't get me wrong, providing your feedback is important, but the amount of meltdown that I've seen is a little bit depressing, I'll be perfectly honest with you all. Like a Cool Kid video in some ways. Damn, if it sounded like a Cool Kid video, I pray that Kengineer's audience recovers from him behaving like me in any capacity. That's generally a bad thing. Warframe had a test asset that read, don't use me, I'm from BioShock. What the hell? I think he had some good ideas. Fair enough. I haven't seen it personally. Listen, I'm not gonna bother with it. We're not gonna touch that, and we'll do something else. You know, I'll take Lavos for this. Why not? Ureli Prime is coming out soon to kick my boy here out of the current Prime access, but that's not a huge deal. It is Red Shard this week. I guess if it's a mobile defense excavation. We're actually playing Frost, I take it back. We'll do the Archon Hunt, something relatively low intensity while we talk about stuff. I will say I actually don't have a particularly well-built Ureli. I've never really liked playing her that much, so I'm looking forward to the release of her Prime, in part because it gives me an incentive to play her more. I just realized the stream might freak the fuck out at points. A viewer actually sent me a really insightful DM about why this happens, but there is an issue with Warframe in particular where, well, it's not just Warframe, but it's mostly bad with Warframe. If my CPU updates, then whenever I load into an area in Warframe for the first time, it maxes out my CPU usage for a little bit. So it's probably going to be noticeable on stream that my voice or stream quality might occasionally tank. So just be aware of that. Also, it's the Freaky Friday stream might freak out. So yeah, whenever my CPU auto updates, it's just going to cause massive CPU load problems for a bit. Like I said, a viewer sent me I would have to find the DM. They sent me a really insightful and interesting write-up about why that happens, but I can't think of the entire explanation off the top of my head. It happens with other games too, like Helldivers, for example, but like not to the same extent. Okay. Once her prime arrives, yeah, Sav's greatest contribution to the Warframe community, Ureli mating press. You know, I want to say this now. Sav and I are friends. I think he's a really funny guy. But his community has made that joke unfunny. I just want to say that up front. It's like, I've gotten to the point where it's just like, I'm tired. Stop posting about Ureli. I'm tired of seeing it. Look, now that I've said that someone's going to send it to Sav and he's going to show up in my stream with like a bunch of people and start spamming it, and I'll deserve it. But that's just how I feel about it these days. Cool Freak 369 for today. The lighting is fucked. Now, hold on, let me grab my stream preview is not I'm part of the problem. Look, I will say this. For every funny YouTuber, there's an infinitely less funny community. The health/armor discourse, I'm not gonna bother with it. I have an entire video talking about how those systems work. It's kind of funny because someone left a comment on one of my videos saying that they felt like Nidus was too squishy and he didn't really like how easy he was to kill, but then posted in their comment that they didn't use adaptation. And it's like, if you watched the video, I think it would make a lot of sense why that would be a really important thing that you're not doing. But that's just my opinion. I'm not trying to single someone out or make them feel bad. It's just it's a much bigger deal than you would think. Can I still talk about Ureli? Yes, you have full permission. You should. Look, I have received some stupid comments. That's not even necessarily one of them. I feel like that person just didn't understand how big of an impact that kind of decision would make. But I have received some stupid comments, let me put it that way. I think I showed this on stream once. So there was a person who left a comment on one of my weird and obscure stuffs. It was the one where I first brought up the slide kick mechanic. For those who don't know, I can show this right now. Well, if my Verglas wasn't so effective. If you slide into an enemy in air, you'll deal a little bit of damage to them and you'll knock them over. This guy's not getting knocked over because he's in a stun animation, but that's besides the point. So I brought that up in, I think it was volume 7 or 8 or something. It was a long time ago. And someone left a comment long after that video was relevant saying something to the effect of oh, the slide kick doesn't just deal a small amount of damage, it deals the entire base damage of your melee weapon. In fact, some guy used it to kill Steel Path enemies. And I'm sitting there does he know that was my video? Because, yeah, that was me. Holy shit, welcome to Cool Kid, Wally. Did your membership expire? Thank you for showing up, Wally. I'm glad to have you. But, literally, I just remember thinking, I think I posted it, and fucking Salus was, tweaking the fuck out in the Discord over the fact that guy had posted that. Because the guy just didn't even bother to check who made the video, and he didn't recognize my voice. It's so funny. Secret Dog Days pack? Actually, yes. Slide kicks are really nice in Dog Days because you can knock enemies over. Want me to utilize Incarnate melees? Oh, how the fuck does that work? Now you've got my attention. How does that work? Sorry, I am kind of juggling a lot of tabs right now. I never thought I would, You can ground finisher? Oh, okay, that's interesting. But I never thought that, I would wish so badly for a third monitor. Woof, welcome, dog. Excited for Daikyu Prime. You know what's crazy? As far as I'm aware, Daikyu Prime, data miners had found stuff referencing it as far back as Fortuna's release. it has been a gun that people have wanted for, or a gun, Jesus, it's a bow. It's been a weapon people have wanted primed for such a long time, and that apparently was on the docket to be primed for literally like half a decade. And it's finally actually coming out. I genuinely never thought I'd see the day. That was the craziest part of that Prime Access. I remember those posts, yeah. People like myself who have been around for a while probably remember a lot of things from back when data mining and stuff was a lot more prevalent. It's funny because now we arguably have more access to data mined materials than ever. I just feel like they're kind of less necessary, I guess. On top of, obviously, DE has become a lot less favorable, or I guess charitable is the word I'm looking for, towards data miners because of what happened with the whole sacrifice leak and things like that way back when. So, what the? Why did I slide backwards? Okay, anyways. We learned our lesson about it, or about talking about it, I guess more or less. Like, it was kind of a don't show, don't tell type of thing with, like, they knew it was happening but didn't say much. And it was a necessity at the time because they didn't publish any of their drop rates or any of that shit. And then, you know, obviously the sacrifice script leaked among a bunch of other shit that happened at the time. And they were like, you know what, we're shutting this shit down. Ultimately, I think it was, there was good that came out of it. Like, they started publishing their own drop rates and stuff like that. But it was still just like, damn. We still, like, I'm pretty sure Aura Forma and Umbra Forma were data mined even after all that stuff happened and circulated in the community. Even though I remember... So, this is so fucked up. I don't even know if I can talk about this on stream without getting demonetized. I'm not even kidding. I think, if memory serves, when the Aura and Umbra Forma were released, the data mining group that got their hands on them didn't want that information to be circulated. And some YouTuber talked about this information despite that. I can't remember who it was, and I don't want to name any names because I don't want to, like, throw them under the bus almost by saying this. But on all of the images of the leaks, to try and make sure that nobody circulated them, they watermarked them by covering them in translucent text that said favorable things about a certain German leader. Let me put it that way. That a certain German leader did nothing wrong to prevent people from circulating the leaks. And watching a YouTuber talk about it with that plastered all over the image was so fucking funny. Because it's just like... missing the point 101. Missing the point 101. They were clearly trying to not, you know, have it escape their circle because they didn't want people to, you know, spotlight that they were still data mining. German leader or Austrian painter in our timeline he became a German leader. Due to eternalism, there is a timeline where he became a painter, but unfortunately it was not this one. Excavation. This is one of my least favorite game modes in this game. I'm just gonna be honest with you all. In multiplayer, it's completely fine, but solo, this shit sucks. I don't really enjoy it that much. Due to eternalism, he is also your father. There might be a timeline where that's true. You know, I guess I'm not entirely sure. The yay threat. Grim as fuck. Artist surprisingly popular on Venus. Wally, what does that mean? What? Well, I don't know if I want to know, actually. Fucking hell. Becomes unplayable on the second rotation, yeah. Like, excavation, just, I don't know. This game mode is boring. It takes forever. It's really, really reliant on enemy spawns not being garbage. I'm just not a fan of it. Those Stovers, man, they're into some weird shit. You know, that's fair, actually. I could see that. Valkyrie rework thoughts? I mentioned this at the start of the stream. I'm just not talking about it because it's not out yet. I'm not going to pass judgment on content that does not actually exist in the game yet. At least not, like, really harsh judgment. I'll see what happens, and I'll say my piece on it when I've played with it. How effective is Gara's healing augment for her 2 in Steel Path? So, here's the thing. By itself, it's nothing crazy, but if you combine it with her 4 augment that spreads Splinter Storm to enemies, her heal increases for every enemy that's affected by Splinter Storm. So if you use her 4 augment in conjunction with her 2 augment, it allows her to heal really, really fast. Otherwise, I don't think it's crazy by itself. It's fine, but it's not that good. But with that augment, it is incredibly strong, though. Have no chin. Damn. Wally is giving us facts about old Earth. Thoughts on Colorbo and his deluxe? I think that Colorbo's a very strong Warframe, and his deluxe looks cool. I wasn't a super big fan of it on first. I wasn't a super big fan of the concept at first, sorry, but now that we've seen it in game, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm trying to catch up a little bit. Does it work on flare? I don't think so. I haven't tried, but like, I'm gonna be honest, this annoys me a lot about stage defense. Fucking nothing works on flare, bro. Like, they made them immune to so many things that could heal them. You can't even use, like, protective sling. It annoys the shit out of me. I really don't like that it feels like a lot of modern, like, game modes that are some defense permutation limit your ability to heal the objective. Like, mirror defense, it made sense, but the fact that so many things don't work on flare just annoys me. Can confirm it works on flare? Okay, good to know. Sorry, I'm late. I'm streaming at 1 o'clock in the morning, almost 2. I wouldn't expect anyone to, you know, be here, quote-unquote, on time. I'm just trying to catch up a little bit here. You think we get the Tau system? I have been around in Warframe for long enough that we have been hearing Tau tomorrow for years. It would be cool if we get it. I'm not holding my breath. Took like an hour for me. Yeah, I need to farm another temple for the wall. I just haven't gotten around to it. Eastern European ass. I rely on my European viewer base when I can't sleep.
You want to hit those high notes.
Catching your stream at work. You know, I hope I'm not impeding your productivity too much. Do you have headphones in? Do you have headphones in right now, Royal Pain? This is important. I just want to know. I just want to know. For a bunch of defense targets? Yeah, that was a Scarlet Spear era nerf. They made it so that I believe if memory serves, defense targets cannot heal more than 100 HP in a second. Wireless, very necessary. Okay, good. I'm glad that you clarify that, because I was just going to start saying I have a bomb. But... you know, if you have headphones in, then my plans have been thwarted. Gotta hit midnight. Whack as fuck. Oh, you're one of those West Coast people, I guess. West Coast time zone. What is that, Pacific time? What's this about a bomb? Don't worry about it. I have plans that I cannot disclose because the haters will sabotage me. I'm just European. Sentenced to 15 minutes r/League of Legends. Oh, what the fuck? There we go. Crocheting event. That sounds exciting. Watch it not even do blast damage. You know, deadass. It'll be old blast damage. It'll blind you. Sabotage. The bomb is your rally. West Coaster here, too. That's whack as fuck. That's a flashbang. I guess that's true. Just got off of League of Legends? I'm sorry for you. Dude, I was like a couple days ago now, out of the blue, Nova Umbral just DMs me on Discord. I'm getting back into League of Legends. But can we all have a group moment where I hope you're religious, because we're going to have to pray for Nova Umbral right now. Bro is getting back into League of Legends. It's never been more... Okay, so I should clarify. We're praying that he goes to hell. Let me clarify. We're not hoping that he gets better. I think that we're already at the point where he can. So we're going to pray on his downfall. That rest in peace, Nova Umbral. He's getting back into League of Legends. It's fucked up. Dude, it's funny because, like, you guys probably wouldn't expect this of me with how talkative I am on stream. I don't talk to people that much. Like, I don't go out of my way to, I guess, necessarily. It makes me probably kind of a shitty friend, to be honest, because there are lots of other people in the content creation space and stuff that I just forget to talk to because I'm not a very social person. But I'm fortunate enough that people like Nova and Shiro and Sab reach out to me. I hope at least they don't take it personally that I don't reach out to them that often. Because I'm just, like I said, I'm just not a very social person. But Shiro DM'd me one night as well. It was a picture of, like, a new character in Genshin or something with the text, "I'm gonna goon." And it's like, dude, Shiro's fucking insane.
Bones of my father, fathom drowned.
I don't know, because there was also, like, he sent me an image of a text conversation between him and Nova, where Nova was DMing him talking about how he was working on a video, and fucking Zero just replies, "I just finished masturbating," and it just stops Nova mid-fucking sentence. Oh my god, it was so funny. Holy shit. Can I ask how you know each other in the first place? That depends on who. Was it a cow? I don't remember who it was, to be honest with you. Well, Shiro is a terminal fucking gooner. I don't even know what else to say. When it comes to how I know certain YouTubers, almost all of them found my channel first. So the only YouTuber that is in this, like, in my... What's the word I'm looking for? Like, that I know, that's in any circle of mine, right? That I reached out to was Blueprint. Because Blueprint was, like, weirdly enough, like, one of the first 10 people to join Grattler Gang. And it wasn't until Drip or Drown 1 that he submitted something, and I was like, wait a second, I know who that is, don't I? And I looked, and his YouTube channel was linked on his profile. And I had actually been watching Blueprint's videos. He was one of the only YouTubers I actually did watch, and I had no idea he even knew who I was. So I reached out to him just mentioning that I liked his videos, and that was kind of how Blueprint and I, you know, first spoke to each other. Everyone else, though, reached out to me first. Like, Sab explained the story to me that he was, like, drunk, and it was really late, and he was watching the Warframe Iceberg because it got recommended to him, and I just so happened to be alive at the time, so he just joined my stream. And it's funny, because when he first did that, YouTube didn't have a feature where you could view people's channels on desktop. So now, if you click on someone's account on a stream, you can click Go to Channel. At the time, you couldn't do that on desktop. You could only do it on mobile. So Nitro thought that it was a bot impersonating Sab and almost banned him. The only reason he didn't is because I had the chat open on my phone and I could go to Sab's channel and verify it was the real one. And then I think Nova, Umbral, and Shiro both found out about me from Is Overguard. No, DE doesn't understand Overguard. That's what the video is called. I believe that they were both asked by their chats to watch it, or their own communities to watch it, and that was how they first started interacting with me. So that's how I know them. Most YouTubers I don't know. I guess, actually, I did reach out to Suckmutt, too, because I watched a video of his and thought it was really funny, so I left a comment. And Suckmutt replied something to the effect of, like, famous YouTuber CoolKid369, please sign my Steam profile. So I went and found his Steam profile and left a comment on it. And that was how I first interacted with Suckmutt. Sab almost got pressed. He's normally the one who's advocating for that type of thing. You know, it's a nice change of pace that Sab gets put in the press. So I just because of Cool Kid. I don't think that's entirely true, because I feel like your videos were still very good and you were growing a lot by themselves. But I won't deny that the send format a Blueprint meme was bigger than I think either of us expected it to get. Because it was just a stupid stream bit that got really out of control for like a month. And look who's streaming. Thanks for the 10, Archangel. What band did you go see? Or I guess bands. Concerts aren't just one band. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Just got home. Yeah, why am I reading that message again? Look, if you can't tell, I'm tired. Beartooth? I don't think I've ever heard of them. What genre of music are they? The mission's almost over. I can almost go home. Gonna happen again, May 21st, 6 p.m. CEST. What's gonna happen again, Blueprint? Is it more Forma, or are you? Did I miss a message where like you're threatening 9/11? Metal, rock, and punk. That sounds interesting. I'll have to check them out sometime. The Axolotl incident. What the fuck lore am I not privy to? That reminds me, Cool Dog 369 was here a second ago. I don't know if he's still here, but that frightened me. I felt like a visceral reaction. Very fun, very energetic. That's interesting. I've only been to two concerts in my life, and they were both concerts for the band Starset. Needs to be at minimum looked at. I'm not gonna pass judgment on the rework until it's out. That's just kind of my stance on it right now. I'm not gonna pass judgment on Valkyrie's rework till it's out. Cool reunion of past stream. That shit was insane. Also, I did forget about that. Blueprint does have the 100 Forma Urelli. That's grim as fuck. to the dog of the drummer at the first concert I went to. That goes hard. My dad actually got a one of the drumsticks from the drummer from Starset. It was after he left. I have heard of that. I'm craving a certified cool kid rant in the Valkyrie heirloom strange reaction. Anything related to Valkyrie, I'm just not touching right now, honestly. Like, I just don't... How do I put this? This is gonna sound like I'm being a dick, and I guess I'm just gonna have to accept that. I just don't really care that much. Like, it's been kind of sad, but at the same time, I also know that the Warframe community can't hold civil discussions about literally any topic ever. And so it's just like, I don't know, it's what I expect. And I haven't been super involved with Warframe stuff lately anyways. I mentioned this in... I think it was actually in my members chat, maybe. I mentioned it somewhere. The reason that you haven't heard much from me is Warframe is kind of in a content lull, so I'm not actually playing it that much. And then also, I've been playing a bunch of other games, like Helldivers 2 just had a major content update. I've been playing a lot of Terraria lately. Like, I've just been doing other stuff at the moment. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna, do more things for Warframe. Like I said, I've been working on the Venus video a decent amount. My notes document is 15 pages long. I think it's probably finally done, but I don't know for sure. Because, like, I feel like I don't know how in-depth I want to go. Let me put it that way. Like... So, would be correct. I actually did stream Helldivers 2 once, and almost every time I've ever streamed a non-Warframe game, I lose subscribers. This isn't a joke. I remember the first time I ever streamed something non-Warframe, I think was Black Ops Cold War, and I lost 12 subscribers over it. So that was funny. But even beyond that, I did do a Helldivers stream once. That was, I think, back when the Constitution was new. So that would have been in, like, October or something. But... You are going to lose. Yeah, I posted cringe. Dude, I'm sorry, bro. I want to watch the Venus video. Yeah, so here's the thing. I guess I can we can touch base as a you are all the slice of my community that gets to weigh in on this. I hope you feel honored. Please play Vellum. It's such a good game. I haven't heard of it. I'll have to keep it in mind. Where the fuck am I going? I should also play Risk of Rain again now that Seekers of the Storm's done with its update cycle. Okay. Anyways, so I'll probe you all on this. The astronomy of Warframe. I guess my first question is, how many of you have seen it? Like, is this a video that people even want to see more of? The reaction on the video itself has been very positive, which is really good. But you guys are a larger slice of my community in terms of, not like larger view count-wise, but you are a more varied slice. People who watch the video naturally will probably want more of it. Plays Risk of Rain 2? Huh, that's interesting. I like it? Okay, so it seems like it's generally fairly positive. I have no galvanized stacks. I'm actually a massive idiot. I'm just gonna kill this guy real quick. I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Lavos. Damn. What was that? Okay, I don't know what that sound was. That threw me for a loop. Anyways. So, here's my current struggle with the Venus video, other than the fact that it's going to be very large already. Like, I'm genuinely thinking the Venus video will probably be sometime between 40 minutes to an hour, because I feel like there's so much more to talk about. But my question is, what do I talk about specifically? Because with the Astronomy of Warframe episode on Mercury, it's pretty cut and dry, I guess. I think I could have done certain things better, but I feel like there wasn't that much to talk about. Let me just put it that way. Mercury is a pretty outdated location, and I knew that going in. I thought it was a good opportunity to do a sort of lower length video. Why am I irradiated? What the fuck? Anyways, to do a lower length video and kind of gauge people's reaction to the concept. So the problem I arrive at with Venus is probably the most complicated planet in the entire game, and there's so much stuff I could talk about, but I don't know if it's directly relevant to the topic. Like, I had been taking notes for stuff like the culture of Fortuna and the Solaris and their lore, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? This doesn't have anything to do with the subject of the video. Like, it's all interesting, but is this not more of like the culture of Warframe or like the sociology of Warframe? This has nothing to do with the actual topic of the video. So that's kind of where I'm at now, where I'm just like, do I include certain things? Because it's a bigger workload for me. I'm just going to be perfectly upfront with you all. That part is daunting. Making long videos is hard, especially because it means that you're not releasing anything during that time. And then, you know, over time, your analytics will stagnate, and that is admittedly a bit of a stressful situation to be in. Especially with the fact that I'm going to be moving soon and stuff like that. I don't want to find myself in a situation where my YouTube channel is playing dead because I'm working on something. And then, you know, I go into a situation where I have no content up and I'm moving and it's actually dead for a while. But my current thought process is high-level overview of things that are not directly related to the topic. So, like, I'll talk about the Solaris broadly. I'll talk about the animals broadly, that kind of stuff. Astronomy, meteorology, geology, all those are directly related to the topic. I'll talk about that stuff. But things that are not directly related to the topic, but are still tangentially related to the point of the video, those will be, you know, high-level overview. They'll be glossed over in order to prevent the video from taking me 90 fucking years to finish. I have a few last preparations for my notes before I work on it. Or I work on the script, rather. Because the script is not done. It's not even started, because there's so much information that I have to cover. And, rough shit. I just realized Lame Adult is here, too. So I have to bear this cross forever. Let me put it that way. But have I missed much? We've just been doing the Archon hunt, not particularly, but because my thoughts as well is like, there's also the element of like, what am I passionate about? Because while I love Warframe's lore and story, when it comes to the realm of science, I don't find sociology that interesting. Like, it's not like it's an uninteresting subject, but not something that I have as like a personal connection with. The astronomy of Warframe is more than a lot of videos I've made a very personal video, because it combines two things that I'm very passionate about, and that I have been passionate about for most of my life. It's kind of fucked up to think that I've been playing Warframe for this long, now that I put it that way. I guess it wouldn't be most of my life for Warframe, but for astronomy, absolutely. And for Warframe, it's been a long fucking time. But the other sort of tangential subjects are, like, interesting, but do I even have the personal investment in them to want to talk about them? And I feel like that's another sort of hang-up for me, is, probably not. The dog's back? Yeah, Cool Dog is also here again. I don't know what's going on. It's going to be a long reel of the entire history of Earth. So I'm currently still torn on how I'm going to do the Earth video. I want to make this sort of statement now. There will be a video on Earth, and I'm going to combine Earth and Lua into one episode. My current thought process is this. Directly, like, so celestial bodies that are in the same system, like planetary system, I will cover at the same time. So Earth and Lua will be in the same video, Mars, Phobos, and Deimos will be in the same video, and Jupiter and Europa will be in the same video. I am also, because there's not as much lore about them, I'm debating doing the Kuiper Belt objects, so Pluto, Eris, and Sedna. Those might all be in their same video as well. Or in the same video as well, because I think it would probably be better to cover all of them together, because there's not that much about them individually. So I also plan for Neptune, because Neptune is going to be such a fucking nothing video, because it's also just got nothing going for it. Other than, I want to do like a concept art sort of thing with Rose for my ideas for a overhaul to the Neptune tile set. And then I'm also going to go in-depth about Railjack. That's sort of what that video is going to be about, is it's going to be about Corpus Railjack more in-depth and exploring some of that stuff, because we don't have nearly as much to talk about on the planet itself. This makes sense to combine them. I think Eris probably has the most. Pluto has quite a bit too still, but the lack of unique tile set is rough for it, I guess. Isn't accurate now? Yeah, and if they ever change it, I will blow my head off. What about Grenier Railjack? I'm thinking that's going to be a Saturn thing, because I've already talked about the tile sets on Saturn. I think I'm going to go more in-depth about Grenier Railjack in the Saturn video. I also just realized you didn't say Grenier, you said Grinder, and I'm not sure if that was on purpose, but, Is Pluto technically in the Kuiper Belt? I believe it's considered a... You know, that's a good question, actually. Let me look. Is Pluto considered a Kuiper Belt object? Okay, it is considered. According to the Planetary Society, Pluto is the largest of the Kuiper Belt objects. So the answer to that is yes. It does leave it. I'm pretty sure during its like summers it is closer than even Neptune is to Earth, but I guess it is considered a Kuiper Belt object. I mistyped the word biggest once. Oh no. More and more objects around it. Yeah, Pluto's demotion was ultimately a matter of, like, we keep finding objects that are similar to Pluto, but calling them all planets would probably not be a good idea. So we're going to demote Pluto because it makes more sense. Okay, Archon Hunt is complete. What else do I have on my docket? I think I still have the 1999 reward track. Yeah. I hate these challenges. I wish we would get more interesting stuff. I'm just gonna be honest with you all. Like, okay. Let me all... I need you all to let me know if you fuck with this idea. Does anyone else wish that we had challenges that were things like survive for so long in survival, get through so many waves of stage defense, complete an exterminate mission in a certain amount of time, capture so many legocytes? Like, could we have objectives that aren't just killing things? Because other than feed the beast and killing the tank, they're all just variations of the same shit. I think it's so boring. I don't know, like, is it efficient to farm it by just going into a tech rot and, like, killing enemies? Yes, but I also think it's just not fun. I'm just gonna be honest. What I used to do them? I mean, that's fair, but... Which time you're willing to take? My suggestion, honestly, would probably vary, and I feel like for ones that would require you to, like, survive or do so many rotations, it'd be best to do those as challenges at the end of the track.
I don't think you should answer that.
Use this playstyle on this tile. Most of them are just use this playstyle in Hellscrub. Like for this, I don't know, I'll grab Hildren and we'll just blow some shit up. Oh, my stream is probably going to freak the fuck out for a minute because I haven't loaded into Holvania since my CPU updated. We might crash. We're gonna find out. Assist hex member on a bounty. That could also be cool, like complete a bounty or so on, you know, so on and so forth. Yep, there's the CPU usage topping out. My game's gonna lag like... Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna stutter like a bitch for a second. I hope that I don't drop any frames. Surprisingly, I have 0% drop frames. Play Saren and SP Hellscrubs? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, our CPU usage is dropping. We are safe for the time being. Let me reorganize everything. I had to pull up my, like, monitoring software real quick. The only frame we drop here is Jade's Child. Damn. You guys ever what? Like, I wonder, when you sacrifice Jade to the helmet, does it spawn 2 flowers? Should it spawn 2 flowers? Really, I guess is the better question. No frames to drop? Yeah, dead ass. I can't believe the tech rot DDoSed me last time around. Or no, it was the time before last, I think. Is Jade just a smaller necromech? Are you implying that the child is piloting Jade? You can just leave and it'll work. Yeah, I know. I take advantage of that trick regularly. Makes Hildren so much fun. I agree. It's a very fun thing to have on Hildren. On Titania as well. Should they spawn 3 flowers? Yes. I honestly wonder where they're going to go with the Jade Baby storyline, but I expect it to take a while. Alright, we're going to have to spike my CPU usage again. Can't think of a good one. I feel like maybe I shouldn't give my opinion on this when the Maul is tanking my game, because it might... Okay, actually, that did take nearly as long as I thought. I have given my opinion on certain topics with this game, but I'm not a game designer, and I honestly think, genuinely, most of my ideas probably would suck. Like, it'd be really cool to work on a game like Warframe, but I don't think I have the expertise to, so I haven't really thought about these types of topics because I'm pretty well resigned to me just being too fucking bad at the realm of game design to make any kind of, you know, concept that is worth literally anything. I'll put it that way, I guess. I think we'll go with more. I always love taking the summon ones. I think that they are, I think that they're the most fun. Some designers suck ass. I mean, that doesn't surprise me, I guess. Was that tech rot or just anything? Yeah, tech rot, okay. Get to see sunlight. That's just, it be how it be. There's no big secret or skill to it. Here's the thing, like, is there a secret or skill? I guess debatably not really, but there is a level of understanding and sort of cognitive ability that has to be present to design games well. I think it should be fairly obvious from the videos I upload and from the way I talk on stream. I am not particularly what we'll call cognitively gifted. So, because of that fact, I don't think I could make a video game that's good, let alone work on one that's already good and not make it worse. So, I don't know. Like, that would be quite the dream, right? Working on a game like this. But at the same time, I don't think that's ever going to happen, and it probably never should. Neither are we. Like, I think that it's fine to, you know, talk about your ideas for a game or have ideas for a game. Like, I'm not trying to scold anyone for doing that. That's just my thought process, is I don't really think about those types of things that much, aside from, like, a few specific topics, because I just don't think I'm really qualified to even have those opinions. I'll put it like that, I guess. Like, there's certain topics that I am passionate about where I have thrown my hat in the ring. Like, obviously, DE doesn't understand Overguard, the sequel to that video, the new player experience video. Like, there's things where I have given my opinion on a game design or balanced topic, and I do my best to reason those as good as I can, but I think that there's a reason I'm not working on this game, I feel like, in a cosmic sense.
Scrubbers are starting to emerge.
Chess puzzle, grim.
Gotta hand it to the little guy.
Cannot put them into paper. You know, that's fair. Like, I think I've talked about this before. Someone asked me, like, Cool Kid, if you could make a Warframe, like, what would they be? And it was a question that was difficult because, to be honest, I don't really know. Because it's something I just don't think about. I did talk about the idea that I had of having, like, maybe a character who's sort of, like, inspired by fighting games, and they would have, like, a parry mechanic and stuff like that. But whether or not that even work in a game like this, I'm gonna go with probably not. They make it up as they go. I think it's a combination of things. They've said before that they plan content out about a year in advance, so they do have a plan, but that plan only goes so far, right? Mirror frame? You know, I have to... just as a question, Cool Dog, how do you talk exactly? How does that work? Pseudo-parry memes. I also I guess I'll say it again. I'm going to probably repeat this a lot during the stream, but that's fine. I'm not going to pass judgment on the Valkyrie rework until it's actually out. Morse code, bark to text software, and change. Yeah, but that's kind of my thought, is that they set up like a sort of a broad, grand plan, and then they make adjustments as they nail down the release of things. It does ultra kill parries. Something that I think would be really awesome is a weapon category for shields. Like, okay, you know what? This is a thing I actually have thought about now that you mentioned that on this topic. Did I finish the challenge? I haven't been paying attention. I have. So, I had an idea for a new melee weapon category that's basically a hybrid of glaives and swords and shields that are just throwable shields, like Captain America type shit, where you can throw them like a glaive and detonate them like a glaive. But when you're holding them, if you block, they would like put up like a shield in front of you that, you know, your allies could gain a benefit for shooting through. Kind of like, just think like a banner shield from Destiny. That was kind of the idea I had. I thought it'd be a cool thing to have like a, you know, full 180-degree frontal block that you can share with your allies on top of having having sort of like the glaive throne gimmick, but I feel like, I don't know, Warframe can't even do things with the melee categories it already has, let alone make new ones. Can you already throw a shield in this game? For Sigma and Octanus, yes, but that's a sword and shield, not like a standalone weapon. Have you given an opinion about the slam rework yet? No, but I just want to make it clear I think it's a good thing. I think that the slam rework was necessary. It's never something I really abused, but hearing people talk about it and how miserable it made public lobbies for them, I think it was deserved. Oh, yeah, I guess Tack and Lug can do it too. I have to... Okay, nope, wrong button. I have to go here. Like Higasa. Cool Dog is spitting. My CPU usage is going to top out for a second again. Sorry, everyone. Game's going to struggle for a couple seconds. Attack and look in the power of Juju. Yeah, real and true. Adding more tome weapons. Like, I'm going to be honest. Something that I feel like DE is really bad about is dropping new weapon categories. Like, okay, everyone who hears this, I want you to brace yourselves. Duviri came out 2 years ago. I know. That was the only time we ever got a dual Nakana. We have not gotten a single new one since the release of that update. It's been 2 years. We also found from the recap slide that Isle Weaver is the first time we are getting a new, heavy scythe in 2.5 years. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand why, but it feels like whenever DE adds a new weapon, they kind of pull from, like, a very specific pre-existing list of weapons. Yeah, Tenno Whip is a big thing as well. The last heavy scythe was Korafel, which was start of 2023. I think that's right. But yeah, it's like... What the fuck? A lot of these categories, yeah, Assault Saws are still only one. We only have one tome aside from, I guess, Noctua, because it's an Exalted. But we only have... I think this game, if we don't count variants, only has 3 Nunchaku. I think it's what? It's Pulmonar's... Yeah, I think it's Pulmonar's, the Wukong one, and whatever... It's like Shaku, and then whatever the Wukong one is. What the fuck is that one called? Ninkandi, that's what it's called. I think we only have 3 Nunchaku in this entire game. You want to talk rapiers? I think we also only have 3 of those. It's like Destreza, Endura, and the Plague Kripith Zaw. Like, a lot of weapon categories just don't have that many options in them for some reason. But it feels like we get pole arms all the fucking time. Oh yeah, Daytalk can do it too. But like, I'm gonna be honest with you all. When I saw that Kome was getting a pole arm, I was kind of pissed. Because I was like, we're getting a update with like a Japanese-themed, you know, Warframe, and we're not getting a dual Nakana? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I don't know what else to say. I just think that's fucked up. You don't want another assault rifle? Yeah, open wide. Fucking, don't worry, little Tenno. DE's got enough assault rifles to last you the rest of your fucking life. 2-handed Nakanas? Yeah, the last 2-handed Nakana we got was Azathane, I think. Why is this Freaky Friday? Don't question it. Saved the Nunchaku stance? That's grim. I need to get ability kills. We'll do Temple, sure. Probably not the most efficient, but it's fine. $1. Thank you, Lado Vandal. Very cool. And yeah, they are changing Wise Razor eventually.
The art of combat must be practiced.
New heavy slam hammer gimmick incoming. True. I feel like DE, what if they do the same thing they did with like the release of Incarnins so shortly after the or like the Duviri Incarnins so shortly after the AoE nerf, where we just get a bunch of weapons that don't have to care about ammo almost at all and are even stronger. I don't know why I keep spamming Ripper's Wail. I have other more energy efficient options to build Metronome. Woof. so true. Was it an assault saw? Me too. When they said pizza cutter, I was like, oh, we're gonna get an assault saw, finally. Hell no. We did not get... No, no, no! Oh, I fucked up. Oh, I fucked up. I slipped. Help, help, help! Oh, please! Dude, advanced parkour maneuvers. You can tell I have... You can tell I'm an LR5 by my advanced maneuvers.
Scrubber's getting choked out. Fix it.
What more? There's probably more, to be honest. When was our last Warframe? Not including variants. I want to make that clear. Not including prime variants. I think it was the Tenocon one, right? Veracruz or whatever it's called. I think it was that one, and that weapon's not very good, to be honest.
I need 20 cc's of fix your damn shit.
Look inside. Hammer? Yeah, deadass. The Spanish style of rapier fencing? That is actually interesting. I did not know that. Aram Spinoza? I'm pretty sure Aram Spinoza was before the Tenocon Warfan. I want more crossbows. You know, I respect that, cool dog. When was our last crossbow? Was it Nagantaka? There's no way it's been that long. I have to be forgetting one.
Now get to work.
The only one I can think of is Nagantaka, but I feel like that can't be right. Because we have Attica and Zuj, which were both before. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that one right. But, and again, I'm not counting variants, so I'm not counting the prime for it or Nagantaka. I think it might have been Nagantaka was our last crossbow. That's fucking insane, dude. That was in 2018. It's been 7 years. I cannot time this for shit. It's 3:22 a.m. I'm sorry. Dude, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. I didn't even think about that. That was before I was born. Blueprint, you were born after 2018? What the fuck? What about kunai? For throwing knives? Our last throwing knife. So not including all thrown weapons. I actually think, funnily enough, we're getting a new throwing knife. I'm pretty sure that Araxia is going to have a throwing knife. And yeah, Kantare with Jade. But I believe they said that she's going to get a thrown weapon, right? Hasn't been any new crossbows? Yeah, that's fucked up. Blueprint watches Skibidi Toilet? That's so fucking grim. Shurikens? I feel like the shuriken category has always ever just been Hiku. I don't think there's like anything else. The Horseman of Pestilence. Damn. The other night, I was at a Discord call with some friends in Grattler Gang. We were playing Helldivers, and there is a chat called Super Earth that I made that's just only people that I add to it. Also, no, it is just a thrown weapon, but I mean specifically for being the shuriken style of like a throwing, you know, what you'd call a throwing or ninja star if you're like a boomer mom. I don't think there are any others that fit that style. Most of them are thrown knives, but I was in a Discord call with a few friends, and I forgot that because I had previously repurposed that chat from the Variety stream, Blueprint had access to it. So out of fucking nowhere, Blueprint joins the chat. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning, and is just like talking about how they're like off walking in the Italian countryside. And I'm like, damn, bro, I'm over here at fucking 2 a.m. talking about video games, and Blueprint's living life. This is so fucked up. That shit was kind of funny. When Blueprint joined, I was like, who the fuck else has access to this chat? Nobody said Evelyn. No one has brought up inflation yet. Sorry, Evelyn. I was taking in a dog park without a dog. Where you... Okay, conspiracy theory, Blueprint was the dog. You should bring Cool Dog 369 next time. You can have him if you want. I don't want Cool Dog. I'm gonna go now. See ya, Blueprint. Thanks for stopping by. The equivalent of staff furry RP. Okay, I need to be honest with you all. This is actually a very well-known thing. There is a thread off the staff chat for off-topic discussion called Staff Furry RP. I think it was Tapato that made it. Keep me? I think Blueprint wants you. I think we're gonna give you to Blueprint. Might as well extract. I've gone to 5 minutes.
You can pull the ripcord whenever you need to. I won't judge.
Why is it always Tapato? I think we all know why. Grattler Gang furry thread is so cool. There's Grattler Gang lore is a complex thing. I'll put it that way. There's much Grattler Gang lore. Being held hostage by femboys, he might be. Dude, Zapato hurts my feelings. He's one of my channel members, and yet he doesn't watch my streams. It's so fucked up. There isn't lore, actually. What would you know, Lado Vandal? What would you know? Why would Zapato hold himself hostage? Secretly Nitro doing a voice. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to throw him under the bus for this. I don't think Nitro is smart enough to do that. I know everything. Oh, it's like, you're like Evelyn. When, I think Evelyn commented on, sorry, I bumped my mic there. I think Evelyn commented on the Excalibur video, just like, I know everything, so this video was meaningless to me. It's like, damn, okay, I'm sorry. My apologies for making it. I have one more challenge. Kill 750 tech rot. Damn, it's like the same thing I just did, but more. That's so cool. Did you want me to lie? You know, to protect my feelings, maybe I did. Maybe that would have been preferable. Dude, there was not really jack shit in this weekly track that I wanted. Because everybody already imagined it. Damn, you know what? That's fair. That's completely fair. The omniscient among us. The omniscient, huh? Oh no. Oh hell no. Okay, first of all, what the fuck? Why is this a thing I can pick? Well, that's so fucking awful. Why would I... You know what? I think Lizzie would like this one. Oh, hey, I guess I was right. That's fucked up. Flair doesn't deserve this. They have options for everything. We out of... Oh, yeah, but do you guys like my Kalimos? Do you guys like my Kalimos? I gave Kalimos the shoes. Hold on. This is better in the decoration cam. I gave Kalimos some shoes. And I gave Kalimos a big knife like Sif from Dark Souls. And I made sure to give Kalimos a snack. A couple snacks. And this is Kalimos' son. And then we also have their alcohol addiction. And then their big hat, which is composed of a pot, a traffic cone, a cactus, and the heart thing. So, this is my dripped Kalimos. What's the son's name? I actually don't know. I don't speak, Kavat. I know that's probably kind of shocking, but I don't know what Kalimos is saying. So, I have no idea what the son's name is, because Kalimos can't tell me. But yeah, this is my, dripped out Kalimos. Kalimos Prime. Holy shit. The fuck you do to the cat? No, we cannot say that. Mark II Kalimos. You know what? Here, this will be our certified lurker moment. If you've just been hanging out in the chat, you know, not been saying much, to let me know that you're alive and that you're alright, go ahead and tell me what you think we should name Kalimos' son. I want some opinions from the chat. We can get everyone participating. I'm sorry, I'm like that shitty, like, teacher who calls on everyone to participate. You know, let me know what you think Kalimos' son should be named. Bartholomew, Kalimos Jr., Dave, Bungus, Kalimos Toes. I'm not sure what's up with the Kalimos Toes. Kali Small, Giuseppe, Bingo. I kind of like Bingo actually. Cool Cat 369, Alamuse. Bark, bark. Hold on, let me read all these individually. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark. Glorp. Seems like a fucked up tail. It's... Yeah, I guess you could say that. Bogos Binted. So you are a dog and not a cat. I was reading that verbatim. Thank you very much. Gorp. It's breathing. Why'd you gotta put it like that? Now I'm afraid. You know, I feel like... You know, I feel like the winner to me is probably Bartholomew. I think Bartholomew is a good name. Does everyone fine with Bartholomew for the name of the son? Someone said Jeb. Okay, actually that gives me an idea. What if hold on. Concept. We he is now Jeb. You see you see what I'm getting at? You see what I'm getting at? I think Kalimos needs a second son. Hold on, let me enable surface snapping. I think we need to give Kalimos a second son. Maybe this can be Kalimos' daughter instead, for gender equality purposes. We'll give Kalimos another child, and it'll be Jeb. I like that idea conceptually. We're gonna... Jeb is stuck in the floor. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna put Jeb like this. And so there's Jeb. Got a DEI daughter. This is true. This is the Bartholomew is like the normal child, and then over here Jeb is the woke child. Oh yeah, Jeb is the rainbow colors, right? It's Dinner. No, I'm thinking of Grum. That's the one I was thinking of, because yeah, it's Dinnerbone and Grum. Never mind. This is, you know what? Yeah, I think we'll correct my mistake. This can be Dinnerbone from this point forward. You know, if their name is Dinnerbone, should they be on the plate, come to think of it? Should we put them up here? Seems like they're a little unbalanced. Something like that, maybe? Perhaps. Look, it's not important. Dinnerbone daughter is Grum. I feel like it's only right that Bartholomew maintains his name as was democratically chosen. Kalimos are not Chinese. Damn. I just realized, yeah, fucking Kalimos is about to fucking cut up and eat their child. That's fucked up. Well, time to kill a bunch of tech rot. Remove the cap on decoration size. That would be peak. You should raid her fridge. Yeah, Kalimos is actually a rentoid in my property. I am the land Chad overseeing the rentoid situation there with the single mother of two that works multiple jobs. Okay, I just realized that's not a tower. This time the dog committed an act of terror on a different government building. It's not even 9/11. That doesn't look like a tower. It's like a... I have no idea. Gonna go to work. See you? Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Because you can own property? Deadass. If I have to kill 750 tech rot... You know what? Fuck it. I don't want to spend a bunch of time doing this. I still have my Netra cells and stuff to do. Has weird lore implications. I have, but like, I guess, hold on. I can look it over again. It has been a little bit. Yeah, here it is. I guess I'm not sure what particular part you're mentioning. Oh, I'm guessing this part here. Hey, my theory was right as well about Temple being unique to Flare. Huh. That's actually, you know, I guess I didn't really read too deep into it, but yeah, that's an interesting thing. That Flare is Temple because they, like, hid to the future. Huh. So I guess I never really read too deep into this after I'd first, you know, read it when I got it. Removing Prime sure-footed would make Warframe fun again? Not really. If you don't like Prime sure-footed, just don't use it, I guess. Like, here's the thing. I think I agree if you want to go at it from the angle of this game has too many fucking knockdowns. I would agree with that, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that Warframe has got so many sources of knockdowns that it makes Prime sure-footed feel kind of necessary in some environments. But at the same time, I don't feel like it should be removed. You can just dodge. In a game like Warframe, I'm going to be honest with you, not really. There are plenty of times where you're going to get hit by some bullshit that's going to knock you down whether you like it or not. You defend in Pluto Terminus? Actually, that's an interesting point. That could be the case. I'm just playing Saren to try and be efficient because I don't want to do this for very long. Handspring, my beloved. Yeah, Handspring is just honestly the Giga Chad's Prime sure-footed. They were there for the Night of the Naga Drums. I guess that's fair. Well, I guess that was the plan. That was what... I guess we don't know for sure if that is what happened. That's just what Temple said they wanted to happen. Then again, I guess if we received a message in our inbox, does that mean that they had sent it to us, like, after? Like, you know what? I'm not even going to try and read into that too much. I think I'm just going to make less sense. Eternalism. Due to Eternalism, I am a good YouTuber in another timeline. This is very boring, I imagine. I'm sorry for everyone watching right now that I'm just fucking doing this bullshit trying to finish this. Before they went into stasis. Yeah, like I said, I realized as I was saying it, like, no, that probably wouldn't make that much sense. Weird that we didn't get it in a Kim message and it ended up in our inbox, but fucking Kalimos can send us inbox messages, so... You're playing a game? I'm actually working a job. That's what you're watching right now. They were delicious and green. Thank you for your insight, Evelyn. And this is why we keep you around in the Cool Kid 369 community. Those are from Arthur. So yeah, they're written by Arthur, but the message is attributed to Kalimos. I never said that Kalimos wrote them, just that she sent them. Which appears to be, considering it's her name and her icon, and that's who it's from, I will claim that that is factually accurate. Did Arthur write the message? Yes. Did Arthur send the message? Not from his account. She loves computer time. Yeah, fucking Kalimos is out here playing like fucking Ultima Online or something. Was that... When did Ultima Online start, actually? Does Kalimos have KOL? I mean, no, but that doesn't mean that Kalimos doesn't have a computer. They still could send us an email. Oh, wait, no, KO... I'm thinking of the Kim system. KOL's the dial-up system, isn't it, from the ARG? Kalimos playing Wizard 101. I could see that. Kalimos is the beta tester for Amir's game about Warframe. That's my headcanon. Was editing his video? Yeah, if only. Ultima started in 97? Okay, so I was right. My joke did make sense. Play Alliance or Horde? I don't play Warcraft, so I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to answer that question. What are some, you know what? What are some games that we think Kalimos would play? Half-Life is on the posters in the mall, so that's got to be all the rage at this point. I feel like Kalimos is probably playing the original Half-Life. I fought Kalimos in StarCraft and lost. Unreal Tournament. When did... Yeah, this has to be pre-2000s games, and I wasn't alive before then, so I wouldn't really know them. Doom? Marathon? Damn, you think Kalimos survived to see the modern Marathon? Mega Man? Or, Kalimos sucks at Tetris? That's very harsh. What the fuck was blocking my shots? Wait. No fucking shot. Am I geeking? Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't have punch through on this, I don't think. Wait a second. Does that plant block your bullets? It's hard to tell because I'm spreading so much damage, and it's such a particular angle. The plant itself, I think, does. What? I was like, why am I not damaging this fucking thing that's right in front of me? That's so fucked up. That's actually so fucked up. I don't think they will survive to see Modern Marathon. What did Bungie do this time? There's so many, I don't even know what you're talking about. I feel like they all blur together in my brain. Cats love knocking stuff over. Oh, what is it? God, what is the name of the brick-breaking game? I don't know why I don't know this. This should be extremely obvious to me. The tech rot plant in my breast pocket? True. An artist's art without asking them. Again? The art director followed recently? Oh, for fuck's sake. Also, yeah, Breakout. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, of course this happens. Awkward timing. Fuck out of here. I'm busy. We're talking about funny shit. Real into Deltarune theories? Okay. So, Kalimos as a character. Do you guys think Kalimos would be a Tumblr girl? Yes or no? Do you think Kalimos will grow up to have green hair and pronouns in Warframe 2020? Yes or no? Do you think... I'm seeing a lot of yeses. That Kalimos would be a Tumblr girl. Reddit? Oh, so I don't think Kalimos is that racist. I guess, you know, people change, but I don't know if Kalimos is racist enough to be a Redditor. Something awful. Kill AU fanfic? That's some fucking crazy shit. That's some fucking crazy shit. Kalimos would use MySpace? Actually, I agree with that. You know, actually, that's true. People on Tumblr do love Bingus. Gatekeeping racism is crazy. All I'm saying is I don't think that Kalimos has it in her. I'm not saying that she can't be racist. I'm just saying that, like, I don't think she is racist. Not that racist. I feel like the way I worded that joke made it sound like I would be indifferent or supportive if she was racist. And I should probably clarify that it's not my feeling on the matter. But, that's besides the point. She's just from another time. The indifference mentioned. I genuinely don't know how Marathon recovers from this. The constant clown show that is modern Bungie. Aoi would be a Tumblr girl? 100% agree. Absolutely. Wait, I just realized, why am I leaving? I haven't finished the challenge yet, have I? I'm 5... Dude, that would have been so tragic. I just autopiloted. I would have been 5 tech rot short. You don't support racist space cats? I mean, I don't think Kalimos would support me. I think Kalimos, like... Okay. Follow-up question. Is Kalimos homophobic? I know that Albrecht and Lloyd are gay, but do you think she's supportive, or do you think she's antagonistic? Definitely. Wait, do you... Yes, but ironically? No, she's so gay. Probably doesn't mind. We're getting there's a lot of division here about this. Awesome gay couple, evil intimidating Kavad. Not a third-party outsource? Oh, that's fucked up. Switch team immediately. Dog, it seems dog is going to sleep. That's tragic. Good night, dog. No longer homophobic. Yeah, when Kalimos' child, Dinnerbone, came out as gay, she gave up. Or she gave it, you know, she abandoned her homophobic ways. Or Lato Vandal is just taking the place of dog. She gayed up. Get delayed another year? Damn. These are both very good, honestly. I guess Bottle Lightning is quite strong as well. Did you get Ollie's bike? I actually haven't done much with Ollie's Crash Course. You know what? Fuck it. We'll take Bottle Lightning. But say the slurs regardless? So Kalimos would be gay, is what you're telling me. Look, I need to keep it 100 with you all. I have never been called a homophobic slur by a straight person. It's always my gay friends, because we all think it's funny. Like, I just... Maybe you'll think of me less for that. You know, that's entirely up to you. But, like, when I'm fucking around with my friends, yes, we all call each other that word.
In former life, screaming meat back together.
That I've never... Like, I feel like if someone tried to insult me by calling me the F slur, I'd just find it funny. I don't know what else to say about that. I just think I'd find it funny. Have you played League of Legends? In high school, I played it a little bit because a high school club was about it. But I accidentally co-opted the club into playing Super Smash Brothers, and they kicked me out. I shouldn't say kicked me out, more like pressured me to leave.
Maybe I'll open a store here. Nowhere near that.
Leave. God damn it. Fucking...
Scares the shit out of me.
Reading about her struggling to stay afloat with her work. I was mad about it all day. You know, fair enough. That is fucking rough. Air trans people. I don't know. Like I said, and I'm not trying to create a discussion on is it okay to say certain words? It's just like a fact of the matter. Yeah, that's a slur if you pronounce it eloquently. That's true. But I don't know. I've never had someone use it to me insultingly. It's always been us joking around about the Kalimos debate. Oh hell yeah. Cool Kid's cat is a fed. My cat, thank you very much, is a struggling single mother who I'm about to raise the rent on. My cat is no fed. She works 2 jobs, one at the Casey's gas station, and the other as a line cook at Burger King, and it's still not enough to make ends meet. Anyways. You know, I just realized, actually. How can she afford that hat? That's her 3rd job! She does OnlyFans, but it's pictures of her with funny hats on. Okay, subtle environmental storytelling. We're going to make Bartholomew bigger because he's the older sibling. You guys fuck with that? Bartholomew is bigger because he's the older sibling. I think that's some good environmental storytelling. She could use 2 more jobs. With the rent hike I'm about to give to her, she's gonna need 2 more fucking jobs. You have no fucking idea. You have no idea what she's in for. But she's short as fuck. Look, this is like Bartholomew and Dinnerbone here are not that old, okay? Like, generally speaking, when you're young children, that's a decent indicator of your age relative to your siblings. Bethesda level environmental storytelling. Dude, that reminds me, when I die, I want to become an environmental storytelling skeleton. Does anyone else agree with that sentiment? Does anyone else want to become an environmental storytelling skeleton? I want to be like the one in Fallout 3, where it's like the skeleton who's dead, you know, with a fan next to his dick. That's how I want to die. I want to die in an absurd way to just fuck with people. I think that would be fun. I think all I have left is stuff here. I'm not sure if I'll do the EDA or not. I don't know if I have the energy, but at the same time, I may as well. The bovine skull in the desert. Yeah, the rest of your body is just mysteriously not present. Sorry, I keep bumping my mic arm with my shoulder. Snort my ashes. That's fucked up. With its head and its weight with a plunger on top. That's grim. Like the Pompeii skeleton who died jerking it. He wasn't a skeleton, but what is the official term for what they are? I'm not trying to sound like an actually. That thought just came to my mind. What exactly are they? Or something for armor? I'm gonna go with probably not. If you're dead, I can't really trust the quality of your construction. Thoughts on the shadows that oil you up in Sanctum? Huh? Buried time capsule with a landmine in it? Oh, hell yeah. Leaving with you with a vague sense of unease? That would also go hard. Ash casts? That would make sense. At their school? Yeah, it's like what does your mom or dad do for work? My mom is dead. Mirror defense, exterminate, and alchemy. I have Zaku, Sebagoth, and Equinox. This kind of sucks. I kind of don't want to do this. Walk into any of the shadows next to the windows? Oh! Huh. That's weird. Yeah, I see what you mean. In the light, my materials look fine, but when you're in the shadows, it, like, applies, like, the floor gloss, like, material to you. What the fuck? I am oiled up. Welcome to Freaky Friday, everyone. I am oiled up.
Hey, how's it going?
Fucking hell. This stream was a mistake. I should have gone to bed. The Shadow Oil. Shadow Wizard Money Gang. You know, I think... Should I play Sevagoth or Zaku? I'm kind of feeling Zaku, I think. What were my weapons again? I think I actually had one of them equipped on my other loadout. Batacor, Sobek, and Rauta. Vasto, Plinks, and Talons, Oma, Galvacord, and Cronin. I guess... I'm going to go with... I don't think my Oma build is very up-to-date, but I'm going to go with Oma and Plinks on this one, I think. And then for my primary, we'll just do Kuva Sobek. That's fine. It's a fine enough weapon even without the funny strategy. Fuck gear embargo. I'm not bothering with that shit. We'll see how this goes. There's your skeleton. True. I can become an environmental storytelling skeleton as Zaku. Shut the fuck up, Tagford. Vasto Incarnate could help you out. My thing is I don't have anything that involves like demolishers and stuff, right? So I should have started deploying my shit sooner. Whoops. Hey all, Scott here. This is bad. Real bad. This is the meta. This is unironically the meta to dealing with this fucking shit-ass game mode in this environment, dude. Just fucking... Oh, right. It's the heat proc one. Just genuinely spam fucking specters. This is the way to go. Lock that anatomizer in place. Go, my minions. Boyfriend deployment. That's what the Kaith button is. I'm sorry for everyone who, you know, enjoys the horse. Obviously, Mighty Gamble, I don't think, is here, so he's normally the one who brings it up. But Nitro did have to go to bed, so he is not with us this evening, which is very unfortunate. Oh, they're just killing that shit. What the fuck? Where are all my summons? Guys. What? What is it? What the fuck? Hello? Maybe I should have taken Nourish, actually. Come to think of it. Maybe we should have... Maybe I should have taken Nourish. The energy exhaustion is kinda ass. Not a fan, not a fan. And most of my summons are... I'm not really sure what they're doing. Actually, I just realized. It might be better to take Vasto if I have to redo this, just so I can kill the mechs in this part. Oh, you guys ended up playing Hell with Big Floppa. Nitro and I ended up switching to play Terraria with Nick pretty shortly after he had messaged you about it, so no, unfortunately. You know, actually, hold on, yeah. I was reading my chat, so that was just inevitable. I think that I'm going to take Nourish. I think that the, it'll probably be better for offsetting energy exhaustion. The rocket was just the icing on the cake. I'd already made my decision. Let's take Vasto Prime. And then ignore anything you see on here. It's not important. Please cast Zata's a Whisper. No, I'm sorry. That's what your loadout should be. I'm not going to wait. Nitro works early enough. That would be very cruel. And it will instantly kill it. That trick still works? How have they not fixed that? Oh, also, that's a good point. I forgot to re-equip my companion. I took it off because I was taking a screenshot for the thumbnail. We'll do... You know what? We'll just do Old Reliable. Oh, actually, wait. My Death Cube... Ooh, idea. My Death Cube, I believe, has on Duplex Bond. He does. Zata can Whisper. Is your Vasto radiation? I don't think I'm going to have to optimize it that much. We'll see, I guess. We'll see. Until I want to play the game. Grim. Alright, another benefit to using Nourish is I can give it to my summons now. Man, I wish there was a Whisper. Zata.
This will fail. You will see to it. Updating HUD.
Alright, everyone. Come join the event. Boom. Alright. I still have to deal with abbreviated abilities, but it's fine. We'll survive. We'll survive. To the best of our ability. Just gonna use an energy pizza to not slow myself down too much. Oh, is my nourishment expired? Nope. We're good. Energy pizzas, my beloved. The old meta born anew. The Avengers? Yeah, pretty much. I hate abbreviated abilities. This modifier sucks. I just heard a Blitz Eximus. The number one thing I'm scared of made it better, so I'm unsubbing. RIP. EDA model. Yeah, honestly, I agree. I've thought about making a video. I've talked about this before. I've debated making a video called Randomness as Difficulty, where I talk about how I don't really like Warframe's approach to difficult content and how I think it could be improved, or at the very least, how I think what I think is good about it versus what I think is bad about it. Because there are things about EDA and ETA I do like, but there's also a lot I really don't like about their approach to difficulty. But I've realized kind of two things. Well, I guess two or three. I mentioned earlier that I'm not a game designer, and I feel like that continues to hold true if I were to make a video like that. But I also just, like, for the selfish reason, I don't want to argue with people in my comments or deal with... So, let me mention something. I feel like when I make videos about Warframe that are in any way me expressing my opinion, I am subject to some people who have no fucking idea what they're talking about. The problem, fundamentally, is that they think they know what they're talking about. And not even just that, they think that they know the subject better than I do. And the truth of the matter is there are people that do know the subject better than I do. It's also exceedingly obvious when a person is not one of those people. And it drives me fucking crazy. Oh, shit. Oh, right. It's a 3-minute cooldown. We are out of energy, gamers. What even was my buff? Okay, what the fuck ever. It's not fun. Honestly, that's actually one of my #1 issues, and I completely agree with you on that. It's not fun. There's a lot of times where it's just like, dude, I don't want to play with this stuff. I just don't like it. Hi, welcome. Blizzard Eximus steals your consumables. Like, there are some modifiers I think are good and that I enjoy playing around, but there are also a lot that I think are bad and that I don't like at all. I think some of my summons might have stayed behind on every ability. You know, at this point, maybe. Because, like, I think there's the issue of, like, you know, I'll elaborate on my feelings on this a little bit. A lot of the modifiers in EDA and ETA are just suck, if you ask me. So, good example of that. You want to talk about a modifier that's not that bad? Dulled Blades was added recently. 50% chance to not gain combo count, or like 50% chance reduced combo count gain. Whatever, that's fine. That's not a huge deal. Then you have ones like Gear Embargo, or what is, in my opinion, the most unfair modifier in the entire game, Transference Distortion. Transference Distortion, in its current state, is ridiculous. It should not be in the game, if you ask me. Locking the player out of their operator entirely locks them out of so many things, and it's just one modifier. I think it's just ridiculously unfair, especially in comparison to all the other, or to a lot of the other ones. It's really, really heavy-handed. With flow? Yeah, that's also some bullshit. Like, there are modifiers that I think are actually a decent, interesting way to do things. Like, for example, Powerless I actually think is an interesting modifier, that you can't use your ability until you get 50 kills. I've had some interesting moments playing around Powerless, but then you have shit like, and I guess I should also mention, Powerless only affects you for the beginning of the mission, right? Like, once you clear the requirement, Powerless effectively doesn't matter anymore. You've beaten the modifier. No notification of anything? Yeah. Gear Embargo I also think is ridiculously heavy-handed. Gear Embargo locking you out of all of your gear items is incredibly oppressive, especially in environments like this. Like, if you want to do mirror defense or stage defense, I feel like summons are incredibly helpful, and not having access to them can make the missions borderline or genuinely impossible. Like, there was one week where it was Gear Embargo and stage defense was the first one. And I couldn't do it solo. Like, I think it was genuinely impossible. Not having summons for it made it completely impossible. I had no good defense frames. And Flare can get shot from pretty ridiculous distances. Without any distractions, I couldn't win. Blocking a few of the ETA stickers? Yeah, it blocks a few of the stickers. Like, I'll say it again. I think that the worst design modifier that you can take is Transference Distortion. I don't think it should be in the game. Just full stop, I don't think it should be in the game. So some people kind of argued with me about this when I posted on my community tab that I thought that it was a bad modifier, but, like, the amount of stuff Transference Distortion locks you out of is kind of ridiculous. It locks you out of being able to use your Necromech. You can't use Last Gasp. You can't use any operator abilities. You can't use Void Sling for mobility. You can't use your operator form to stall out DOTs. You can't use any operator arcanes. It's bullshit. You can't do anything that involves your operator, and your operator does a bunch of stuff. I hate it. I hate that modifier so much. With their messed up view event game. Yeah, I also agree that a lot of people who like talk about and hyper-focus on level cap, it's just not a fan. I'm not really a fan of that view, I'll put it that way. I don't vibe with that. I don't do the programming, but I do understand it. Does that count? Count for what? I guess I've moved on from the, you might have to clarify what the subject of the question is, because I feel like I've mentally moved on from it too much to know what's going on. My apologies for that. Oh, you son of a bitch. I got mag proc. This is looking pretty grim. No one here is going to get that reference. The Valkyrie rework and data expunged. Fuck, got me fucked up for real. I can just finish off the Oracle and move on with my life. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. This isn't looking great. Reduced operator. So here's my suggestion. I think that for specifically Transference Distortion, what they should have done is made it so that every time you entered your operator and came back, it gave you its stack of Transference Distortion. And if you died in your operator, you die in real life, right? It give you full stacks and you just die. I think that would be a much better way to balance it, because it would allow you to still use your operator, but with a new and interesting consequence for it. I don't know, that would be my personal pitch for a modifier like that. Kind of the same with Gear Embargo. If we were to do Gear Embargo... Oh, for fuck's sake. If we were to do Gear Embargo, if I was to change it, what I would do is make it so that whenever you use a gear item, all of your other gear items go on cooldown for a time. Maybe like the 3-minute pizza cooldown is applied to everything whenever you use any gear item. That would be my suggestion for Gear Embargo. Still have a minute. Okay, that's fine. Gear Embargo, which just turns your sound off. Good suggestion. Dude, I am scared, because if an Anatomizer pulls up, this run is actually fucking over. On-demand overguard is gone. Yeah, it also locks you out of your necromech, which is another one of those things that's both a gimmick in both modes, and is one of the few sources of reliability. Pizza cooldown. Whenever you use an energy pizza, or any kind of pizza, so like an energy restore, ammo restore, whatever, they all have a shared cooldown. I believe it's a shared cooldown of 3 minutes. You can only use one every 3 minutes. I think it might be shared across the same type of pizza, not all pizzas, but they spawned a mech, didn't they? I wasn't paying attention. That's no good. I have no guns. Should count as 2 modifiers. I could see that, but I still don't think they're well designed regardless. Like, even if they gave you more progress, I still don't think they're well designed. And can't stall. I could see that, but there are several things that are tied to the void that you'd still be locked out of, right? And I still just don't really like that. I feel like I should have access to my operator with some unique... Oh, Jesus Christ. Commanding Culverin's moment. But with some unique problem to solve around accessing my operator, if that makes sense. Should I risk it and spawn the mech this late into the mission? Probably not. Where is everyone? Oh, that makes sense. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, my call guys disappeared. I should also bring back... Alright, low-key... I can't use them. Oh, wait, no, I was looking at the wrong thing. Low-key, Corrupted Lancer Spectres are incredible. Because of their Arson Eximus Fire Blast, they just crowd control the shit out of enemies. Yeah, look at that, dude. Oh, I love the Lancer Spectre. My goat. I'm gonna just hard focus on the game for like the next 10 seconds just to get through this dog shit, and then, oh, yikes. We did it, Patrick. What the fuck is a Revenant? Got all the death restrictions it has. I think a lot of that stuff is just kind of like, it's pretty artificial difficulty, I guess. But it's all converted to Toxin. That would be horrendous. Some frames rely so heavily on shield gating, that would fuck them over to a crazy extent. I, wouldn't personally, advocate for that, I guess. I'll put it that way. Okay. It's a garbage arcane. I think it has the potential to be neat in some scenarios, but... I don't know. I don't have it. I don't feel like it sounds very good. Alright, you know what? Yeah, come on, guys. You're gonna join me for this, too. Yeah, 10 seconds of operator. I think 50 kills might be too high, honestly. I also feel like that really favors high kills per minute frames, when if the frames are random, you have no control over if you get one like that. Hit Etch's curse. Yeah, remember everyone, blame Etchamus that there's no cool kid in Nitro Sex Tape. That was my promise if we went 5 for 5 in that Netracell run. If we got that was back before Netracell drop rates got changed, and they could drop the regular arcanes and shit. I said if we went 5 for 5 on Archon shards for all of our Netracells, we would drop the cool kid in Nitro Sex Tape. And Etch cursed me with a melee arcane adapter, and it actually fucking worked. In the focus skill tree? I don't believe that's true. Unairu has a perk that does. I think it's if you die in your operator and press E in time, you transfer back and don't take any transference distortion. She was actually a 5th team with how valuable she was. Damn, nice. I should probably also deploy my Nidus Spectre, come to think of it. Could you unhand me? What the fuck? Deserves an expansion. I think it'd be cool to see more focus stuff, but I don't feel like it's in dire need of it, I guess. Other than I wish that Naramon would get more changes. Naramon's not bad, I just feel like a lot of its abilities aren't that good. And Disarming Sling only working 50% of the time is fucking stupid on Zeneric. I don't know why it even exists, let alone is not consistent. It gives you after pressing E. Oh, okay. Like I said, I don't play Unairu that much, and it's not a waybound, so I don't know the full details off the top of my head. And just melee stuff. Yeah, it's got, like, people play Naramon basically just for the passive effect, and I think that's kind of lame. I wish that there was more active gameplay with Naramon. I guess opening slam is good, but a lot of the Naramon's abilities just aren't that impactful. It's pretty unfortunate. Only buy so many banners, true. For water? Yeah, fair enough. Look inside duration, yeah, deadass. With the Void Sling abilities. I think that the only one that's really good is Power Spike. Or not Power Spike, whatever it's called. The fucking Matter Eye Sling one, Sling Strength. That one's pretty good. But, like, Disarming Sling or the one for... I think it's like Stunning Sling, something like that, where it opens enemies to finishers. They're just not great, unfortunately. So that's fair, Idan. I still mostly use Zenorek just out of comfort. I've just played it for so long, that's just what I'm used to, and it gives me good benefit, good consistent benefit. So, oh yeah, I guess that's true. Protective Sling is also incredibly good. I was thinking of it, I was getting it twisted, I'll put it that way. I was getting it twisted. Like Matter Eye. I honestly kinda, like, I personally get why Matter Eye has such a long cooldown. It could be shorter, but I get why it's got a cooldown, I guess, to begin with. I feel like for Matter Eye, they took Sling Strength and added that so that that's secretly Matter Eye's actual, you know, first ability. And then their one is just their, like, occasional moment of power, you know, card that they whip out. What's your sense on the Valkyrie rework? Not going to give my opinion on it until it's actually out. That's just, the current stance I'm taking is no point in expressing my opinion on it when it's not released yet. I will give my thoughts on it once I have actually played it. Self-res insurance. I mean, you could see it that way. I think that Unairu is also incredibly good for self-res. Learn a thing or two about that. I'm not going to talk shit about Nova. He's a good guy, and I've spoken to him, you know, a fair few times. Like, that was just kind of unnecessary. Did my stream just die? Hey, everyone, are we still here? Are we good? Did we lose connection to the stream at some point? What the fuck? Hold on. What happened there? I still have no dropped frames. What happened? What the fuck? That was weird. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. Anyways, yeah, my mom unplugged the router again. Sorry, guys. She poured salt in the router. Oh, what the fuck? I was looking at my chat and that knockdown, I thought I went down, and I'm like, God damn it, dude. Not like this. Not like this. Bring him back. Bring him back. Get him back in the ring. Hell in a cell. Cage in a cage. Man, that's a reference even less people will get. Salt banishes router demons. She's onto something. Damn. That's how you stop yourself from getting DDoS. I'm an IT professional. I can say this. I don't actually have my CCNA yet, so I can't say that. Sorry. In solo mode, please pause. It's just like muscle memory. I could have paused. I don't even actually know if I'm in solo. I am. So, the real reason that I do that even in solo is because I oftentimes will forget that my game's on invite only when I'm playing with other people, and I won't switch it back. So then I'll pause and click out of the game without realizing that I'm still vulnerable and I'll die. I want to use something other than Deadhead. I can see that. Like, I feel like the primary arcane slot is not very competitive compared to the other weapons. Like, we finally got a good one with Crux. I really do think Crux is a great arcane. And there are some that are nichely helpful, like Blight and Frostbite, but generally speaking, I think the Steel Path arcanes and Deadhead especially are just the best, in my opinion at least. It's so annoying. Yeah, I actually agree with you on that. I'd like to see more get the ability to be recastable. It's such an annoying, like, minor, you know, QOL thing that certain ones aren't. Just better for damage. Is it better for damage? Yes, but I think that you can still get more value out of it. Like, say that your weapon, you're using it as a status hose and you need to spread a lot of status, or it's got bad ammo efficiency and you're trying to compensate for that. Like, I think that there's definitely genuine uses for Crux over Deadhead when damage isn't your only objective. Primary outburst. I personally think that if we get more primary arcanes, I'd like them to be more standalone, I guess. But I see where you're coming from. You should buff the other arcanes. They certainly could. Oh, Jesus. I can't believe that they're also actually going to be buffing Ambassador. It's finally happening, guys. Oh, what the fuck? My cursor just went out of my game window onto my other monitor. To get a tail like the concept art. You know, that's a very strange question of you to ask me, Aiden. I think it's a loaded question, so I'm just not going to answer it. I don't trust your intentions with such an inquiry. Okay, they should buff plated rounds, actually, 100%. You want my opinion? Plated rounds buff shouldn't expire until you reload. It should have no duration. It should just reset on reloads. The fact that it's got a 10-second duration but scales with bigger magazines, which will naturally take longer to get through, bewilders me. What did I do? I don't trust you, Aidan. I don't trust you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say shit like that. Aidan's gonna sap my bank account again. Kuva John. Hell yeah. 1 like equals 1 Kuva John in your Warframe inbox. What was the alchemy modifier? Eximus Amphors? Oh, that's so cringe. Check your credit score? Fuck! God damn it. I knew this was gonna happen. I shouldn't have said shit. Get a Nightwave augment since it's Railjack themed. I think it'd be really cool to get a Nightwave augment for it eventually. We know that from what we've seen in the write-up about it, the augments we're getting in the next one are for Apodai and Simulor. Kuva John plus 60% toxin. Kuva Lich Cool Lich 369? You're a channel member? What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck? Not this again. People hype her up too much? I'm gonna be honest, I think people don't hype her up enough. I don't feel like I see people talk about her outside of the YouTube sphere. Zephyr is a very, very good Warframe. Sleeper meta, as the kids would say. Sleeper meta. I am doing dog shit right now. We need Kuva John. I agree. Kuva John should be added. You know, we can have a little bit of a discussion here, everyone. If you could add 1 new adversary weapon, so Tenet, Kuva, Coda, whichever, right? What adversary weapon would you want to add? Or you know what unrestricted. What adversary weapons do you want to have? Well, I'll make this plural. Let me know what weapons you think should get an adversary variant. For me, my big ones are I really want a Kuva Argonath, and I really think it would be awesome to have a like a Tenet Fluctus. Prisma Fluctus would be, you know, it was data mined, but that's not a thing anymore, so, you know. Tenet Exurgis, that's a good pick. Javlock, I think, is another good one. Tenet Czar. I need 1 more kill. There we go. Say, on God, I'm clowning. Kuva Sheev, that's based as fuck, actually. Kuva Ghoulsaw. Kuva Gotva. I don't think that would work, but I can see where you're coming from on that. Coda Legion. I would say I don't feel like they would make an already that good weapon into a Coda weapon, but fucking Sporothrix got in there, so like... Live Cool Mom security camera. Grim. Tenet Prova, Tenet Stulta. Tenet Prova would be really cool as well. I'm just gonna keep abusing my Spectres, I'm not gonna lie. Not like, you know, you know what I fucking mean, okay? Don't make it a problem. Oh, fuck's sake. See, this kind of thing I couldn't do if I had Transference Distortion. I'd just be fucked and I'd die. My healing. Coda Mios? That's actually a cool pick. I haven't seen that weapon in a long time. Tenet Supra? That would go hard. Tenet Quanta? any weapon. I feel like within reason, like something that would fit the theming. I just have fuck all energy, which means I don't have my damage reduction up because I'm not using my 4. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of Eximus units. This is gonna be rough. I think I'm actually in for a pretty rough mission, I'm not gonna lie. Tenant Occutor. I would be very shocked if they ever release something like that with how fucking good Occutor is. This is going to take a while. I'm just going to preempt this. This is going to take a while. This modifier already takes a bit. I don't really have many weapons that are going to be great for chewing through these types of enemies. I guess... Oh, wait. I'm a genius. I have conceived an idea most ingenious. Oh, shit. No, I haven't. I fucked up. Oh, it's actually over. Call is going to steal my kills. I shouldn't have said a damn thing. There's a culverin in here. Yep, Call is gonna... Wait! The Amphors! Nope, nope. We're back in this. Come on, we're back in this. Come on. Oh, that was so tragic. Did I... Also, no, this... I've just absorbed it from Iden. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't fucking care. I don't need the rewards from this game mode. That's what you trade off when you spawn Call. If you spawn Call, he will not let you last gasp. He will steal all your kills. I forgot until too late that I could have saved myself. Then nerf it too, real. And a blue shard at the end. I'm just gonna get more. I don't even need more of these fucking things, bro. Spectre should be able to revive you, if only.
I hear his voice sometimes.
I don't care. Give me your Vokas.
Quiet. Entreating.
With a sticker, yeah. Yes, that's what I just said. I picked it up from Idan.
What it must have cost you to bring research keeps the
5 billion blue shards. Where's the above Voka? We're still working on finding it. 70? Now we're up to 70 fucking 1. Fuck it, we'll do the Netracil. I don't think I care enough to actually finish the EDA. I just don't care anymore. And honestly, reading chat makes me, like, exponentially more likely to fuck up, especially by myself. That's why I did the ETA off stream, because I want to make sure I actually finish that shit. We'll take... We can do Gauss, sure. Welcome, Hoot. Good to see you. With just one update. I think people are just annoyed by his content. How was Cool Daughter doing? I don't think I've seen her around. Me and Blue Help. I mean, like, on the one hand, you could, but on the other, I just don't give a shit, dude. I don't want to go. I don't want to sit through that again. Could I do it? Realistically, yeah. I think that was just purely my own fuck-up that caused me to die there. Do I want to do it? No. At this point, I just do it because it's something to do. And honestly, I don't really find EDA or ETA fun anymore. The random mechanics just suck. I just don't really like playing them anymore. When did they... That's been a thing since, I think... Yeah, I think it was Whispers in the Walls, right? Because they added that alongside, I think that was alongside Valence Fusion, or whatever it's called. Or Coalescent Fusion was the addition of the Ascent Fusion. The white woman loaded always gets me. You know, I'm glad some people think I'm funny. Whispers? I know that you meant the update, but I thought you were just, like, role-playing in the chat that you were whispering, but, like, you didn't actually say what. Or suffering, and I hate that. Not really. Because you can still get weapons you don't own. Was delayed, though? EDA was delayed. But, I mean for the Ascent Fusion mechanic. Any lurkers in chat type whisper? Yeah, this is like why I don't hear the lurkers in chat, because they're all whispering. The certified lurk mode is to just type a whisper if you've just been hanging out in chat. Whisper Zata? Holy shit. No fucking way. Out of sight, my beloved. I'm out of this bitch. Me fleeing the child support. Mocking Whisper. Damn. That's pretty brutal. What time is it? 3:30 a.m. Damn. And clean house. I can see that. That's one of the things I've done before too, is if all the modifiers are bad and all my options are like, if all my options are bad and Dante can like bear the modifiers, I'll just take him. He's just so self-sufficient. The friends we made along the way. True. I agree. The Gauss shield tech. If you mean the thing with like rank 1 Aegis where you become literally invincible, I don't abuse it because it's clearly not intended. Like people have actually, if that's what you're talking about, people have suggested it for weird and obscure, and I want to make it clear I will never cover it. I feel like I don't. First of all, I feel like for the people who actually do abuse the exploit, if it gets fixed, they'll be mad at me. But I also don't want to like broadcast the exploit. I'm seeing the new Helldivers bug. Are you? If you're referring to the stratagem one, yes, and it crashed my game once. Like, so for those who don't know, right? Let me give you a little bit of context for what Evelyn mentioned here. So the game Helldivers 2, you have these things called stratagems that you call in, and they do various things. You can call in weapons, you can call in like air strikes, orbital strikes, turrets, stuff like that. There is currently a bug where you can call in effectively an infinite amount of them. So like if I throw down like an orbital barrage that like, you know, shoots a bunch of like artillery shells at an area over the course of a certain amount of time, there is a bug where if I do a certain combination of inputs, it will spam like 10 barrages instead of 1. So Nitro kept abusing this bug, and it was causing my game to have performance problems. So I told him, be careful, it can crash your game, and he kept telling me, no, it can't. So to prove my point, I did it with the orbital Gatling barrage and crashed both of our games. And like, is that petty? Yes. But I wanted to prove my point, like, please stop abusing the bug, you're making my game's performance bad. We had extraction and super Helldive, that's fucked. Like, genuinely, you cannot play public lobbies in Helldivers right now without encountering it. Like, when I was playing with my friends, if we would, like, if someone was to use it, it would be, like, coordinated. Like, we all knew it was gonna happen. But in public lobbies, you're on the receiving end of it constantly. Is the bug funny? Yes. And if you're by yourself, I think it's got a lot of fun potential to mess around with it. But I feel like, if you are in a public lobby and you're fucking other people's experience up, that's just shitty. Just, I don't know, don't do that, right? Part of me is tempted to load up the game and show it on stream, but I don't think anyone here cares enough. It is a really funny bug, though. You will get beamed by a destroyer. Oh yeah, I remember that reading that they had added that. Used car dealerships? Yeah, Toyotathon. I fucking love Toyotathon. That is a very good use for the bug, is Toyotathon. Also, fuck up player experience? Not really. I actually totally disagree with that. Revenant is a Warframe who just doesn't die. Like, is that powerful? Yes. Is it disruptive to other people? Not in my opinion, no. It's not, like, if you can't die, so what? If I'm on your team, at least. I don't feel like that disrupts my experience at all. If you're like a Slam Wukong or something like that, or a Sobek Saren, yeah, that'll be disruptive to my experience. But if you're a Revenant and you just don't die, like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm shooting at the ceiling. That's not that room. Ian's ruining the game's reputation. Same thing with Dante mains. I feel like it's like, yeah, the people who play Revenant... Okay, I'm going to be honest with you all. Like, I make fun of Revenant as much as the next guy, but I will be honest, I have never seen a person who plays Revenant say anything half as bad as people who talk shit about people that play Revenant. I don't know. Oh, my dog's geeking. What do you want, Molly? My dog feels the need to be vocal. The Spike incident? Dude, which fucking one? My dog feels the need to be vocal. I put my dog on the mic, but I don't know if she wants to be, you know, put on my lap at the moment. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Because of you. Sobek Saren is a loadout I do play, but only by myself or if my friends agree to let me play it. Like, I want to make something clear. I have not updated my Sobek Saren video, because if I did, it would probably get nerfed if the devs found out about how good it is nowadays. Sobek Saren is absolutely disruptive to other people's experience. Like, full stop. Especially for Mesmer Shield. I can see that. This will put us on a list. Yeah, my dog just feels the need to scream in general. My dog Molly is blind, so she'll just cry whenever she needs anything. She's like a you know, an infant child. People judge because he doesn't die. I do think that, like, Revenant's kit has problems that I wish he would get reworked over, but there's no way they'll rework him when he's the most played frame in the fucking game. He's got a cool kit idea underneath all the Mesmer skin nonsense, but no one uses him for it. So he doesn't scream. Thank you for relating, Evelyn. I don't think they care. Yeah, like, I don't know. People, if you play a Revenant, like, yeah, I'll make fun of you in jest, but these result in stupid deaths. I was actually there for that. Then again, I'm gonna say this. Do I think that Kazette deserved to get shit for it to that extent? Not really. Did Kazette set themselves up for it? Yes, because Kazette was saying that I played Revenant a lot, and Spike inspected my stats to see that, and I didn't. And I was like, Kazette is slandering me. So then naturally, Spike looked at Kazette's stats because he was curious. But Kaz kept saying, like, oh, Cool Kid plays Revenant. I'm like, no, the fuck I don't. Look, all I'm saying is, because that walked into that one. Hey, one good item today. A red shard. Can do disgusting amounts of kills per minute? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, I think that's all the stuff I had to do from this area. Pushes Rev as the best frame. Yeah, Grim. What shards do you have on Gauss? I want to say it's, like, duration, and then I think I have, like, one ability spawn. Yeah, this was for just casting all my abilities right away, and then these are all duration. For some of the modifiers. Yeah, I can see that. I guess I haven't played him much in that environment, so I played him starting out. I really liked Revenant when he was new. I thought he was a lot of fun and his gimmick was cool, but I kind of drifted away from him, and then he became super meta, and so I just didn't really think about it much. Oh, someone just DM'd me asking if I'm guessing you're asking about the NVIDIA driver update for the DLSS override thing? No, I haven't. I've been kind of hanging off on updating my NVIDIA drivers because there's just been enough stability issues with them that I don't want to bother with it. Why do I not use the back room? Two reasons. One, this has been my player housing area for the past 10 years. And two, I like the space skyboxes. The back room is a cool location, but I like the Orbiter more. Also, Valkyrie rework, I'm not going to give an opinion on it until it's out. I think it's kind of weird to me to give an opinion on content that I haven't played yet, and that's still subject to change. So I'm not going to be giving any opinion on it until, you know, we have things that are more concrete. What else can I do? Same thing for Dante. I guess that's fair. Then again, I guess I haven't personally experienced it that much, like, directly to ask about the Valkyrie work. It's considering the fact that this is a live stream, like, I'm fine with answering the question multiple times. It's a pretty relevant thing in the Warframe community right now. You know, people are going to join, you know, come and go and ask the question. That's fine. Okay, speaking of the question, I have a bit of cool kid lore that I need to talk about real quick.
And we're out.
I could put a pinned comment. That's true. That requires me to actually do something, though, which I'm not a fan of. Okay, where... Yeah, Catalyst and Reactor. I should probably start building these. So, Cool Kid lore. Those of you... Hold on, let me take a drink before I talk about this. My throat's getting kind of dry. Okay. Also, yes, I bought the Orican Cell BP as a meme. So, Cool Kid lore. Cool Kid lore drop. I have mentioned on stream before my co-worker Zach, who keeps asking me the question. If you don't know what the question is, I meant... Okay, I don't know what Ortis's problem was there. Sorry, that caught me off guard. Anyways, so my coworker Zach, I was on stream once. I went on a brief rant about how I think it's weird that people ask when they find out that you're, you know, in a male relationship like I am. People will just ask if you're the top or the bottom. I think that's a weird fucking question, and I have talked about this on stream a couple times because it just gets brought up whenever people ask me the question, that I think it's weird, and I don't know why people, like, freely answer that. Another coworker of mine, fun fact, the coworker who made the Cool Dad 369 account was watching that, and he relayed that information to Zach. So the next day that I come into work, Zach looks at me and goes, "Hayden, are you a top or a bottom?" And I'm like, you missed the entire point of the segment, Zach. I'm not answering that question. So now, every day that I come into work, he asks me, are you gonna answer the question? I personally think it's pretty fucking funny, but it's gotten to the point where it was like a couple nights ago now. Let me just pull up our text conversation. So, this was 1 week ago now. Zach sent me a video that just is this woman dancing around on TikTok, and it just says, "You are a bottom" on it. And I replied to Zach saying, "You rat," to which he followed up with a gif saying, "Not now, kitten, daddy's reading Warrior Cats." Keep in mind, Zach is almost 30. I did not expect to get hit with shit like that. That's all I'm gonna say. I did not expect to get hit with that gif. Just that you spectate? That's even worse! I've been sent to destroy you. Are you a bat top or a bottom? If you're referencing the bat story, the classic that is. What do you want, Molly? Do you want to be on stream? Is that what you want, Molly? Hold on, my dog. What's up? Come here. You guys might be able to hear her faintly. She's not super loud, but she might be loud enough. I'll put her on my lap. We'll pacify the dog. We'll have her on my lap. She's gonna make this harder for me because she likes to try and slide off of my lap, but that's besides the point. Are you the pre-rework Valkyrie or the post-rework Valkyrie? So there was someone who put it, I think, the question much more eloquently: who kills the spiders in your relationship? That's a much better way to frame that question, because that's information that will tell you what you're asking. Like, just real talk. Who kills the spiders in your relationship? I think that's a good enough variation of the question. Are you the booba or the kiki in your relationship? I think it's pronounced boba. I don't know why I said it like booba. Fucking Shiro's gotten too deep into my brain. How big is the spider? Who does the cooking? We're just going full on gender stereotypes. That reminds me, fucking one time Phoenix, I don't know if Phoenix is still here, but Phoenix DM'd me something, and I asked them how their day was, and Phoenix was like, "Oh, you know, it's been good, I just made myself a sandwich," and I'm like, "Oh, so you're the woman in the relationship?" And Phoenix was just like, "Wow." Versus the Chad Spider savior. You know, that's fair, but here's my moral philosophy. If I am outside and a bug is not bothering me, that's fine. That's their home. I won't fuck with that. If they're in my house, or my apartment rather, all bets are fucking off. I'm killing that bitch. Who's the man and who's the other man? True. They walk into my house and ain't paying rent. Yeah, they're trespassing, dude. I'll get my fucking 12 gauge, and I'll do what needs to be done. They became misogynistic? Deadass. Super intrusive question. I've also mentioned this before in regards to, Oh, Molly. Your respiratory issues catching up with you, you old bastard. My dog is a pug, and she's very old, so... Let me catch up a bit. It's your responsibility to notify them. I feel like it should be fairly obvious. Not getting any actual feedback. There is a channel called Self-Promotion. If you want to post it there, feel free. Live horse reaction. I'm sorry, I'm just staring at the star chart. I should probably actually do something. I'm just kind of... I think we've got all the weekly content knocked out. I don't need anything else in the Nightwave. You know what? If we're just going to hang out and chat, you know where we got to go. We're going to go visit Wally. Actually, hold on. I'll do you one even better. Did I post a picture of my house in self-promotion? I would advise you don't do that. That's just my opinion, though. Let's grab Varuna. Okay. We're going to go visit Wally. I don't know if Wally's still in the chat, but we're going to go visit Wally. Yippee, yep. So there should be a channel under stuff you've made called self-promotion. You might have it off. You might have to go enable it in the channels and roles section. I think that if you were in the server at the time that it was new, it's not enabled by default. And it's out of my pet fountain? Damn. Chevenant? If Liam is here, I'll show Chevenant. Can we... Oh yeah, Chetty Chazbear? Hold on. Let's get him. That almost crashed my game. What the fuck? Chetty Chazbear, my MOA, that chat made. His colors are so off. His materials are so off. Alright, everyone say hi to Wally. This will be our certified lurker moment. If you've been hanging out in chat, you know, haven't been saying much. Can I get a hi, Wally? I always appreciate it. We can get some hi, Wally. I brought Wally a pizza. Thank you all for the hi, Wallies. Yes, Molly, I know. You're old. You might occasionally hear my dog make strange noises because of her breed's respiratory issues. It's kind of sad. We were actually, many years ago now, I think it would have been like 5 or 6 years ago, I think it was closer to 5, we had to take Molly in for surgery to have a cancer removed. And they were going to fix her respiratory problem. Like, weirdly enough, Why the fuck are you talking, Ortis? Anyways. The vet that we had taken her to, the guy doing her surgery, just so happened to do, like, his doctorate thesis on correcting respiratory issues in dog breeds like the pug. But because of her surgery taking so long, they didn't end up doing it because they couldn't keep her under for any longer without it being dangerous. Which is sad. I feel like it would have been, you know, a big quality of life improvement to my dog's life. And I think that, like... all I'm going to say is, like, if you are going to get a pug and they're young enough to have that surgery and you can afford it, you probably should do it. I imagine it would be a pretty big improvement to the dog's quality of life to be able to breathe, you know, more easily. To defy your medical sleep issues to do it. Yeah, I can see that. The J word, the J slur, if you will. Well, I guess it's not a slur unless you say it to someone. Can I introduce you to Ronald McVoban? Who the... Do you know, hold on, let me... Jalapeno, if you want. Do I have you added? I think I have you added. Hold on. Let me open a line of communication so my D&D gets overwritten. Can you look link it to me? I mean, I guess if the joke works better, I could probably invite you too, but... Holy shit. It's Ronald McVoban. I love the red nose. That is peak. He even has a fan on the top of his head. He took it from the ice cream machine. Ronald. That were made in 2023. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I still don't understand them. Evelyn and, like, Genki and stuff kept posting them in the Discord and telling me about them. I don't know what the fuck, like, 2 times pimpy, 3 times bape means. I don't know what this is trying to convey. I don't know what information I'm supposed to be extracting from this statement. I don't get it, bro. I really don't. Wario? Holy shit. Genki started it. I like how you're just deflecting immediately. I mean, it's true. I'm pretty sure he did start it, but that's besides the point. This just reminded me that Grendel has a void shell. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'll keep this line of communication open in case you have any other ones. 2 times pimpy, 3 times babe. Gao says Waluigi? That would go hard. Also, yeah, it said that the void shells are on hiatus. A bred with said parent. That's fucked up. I'm glad that someone at least explained what it means to me, but damn, that's fucked up. Closest to Wa. Damn, we are pretty close, actually. It doesn't make us enough money. Yeah, I guess so. They're pivoting to I knew the punchline of that GIF, Idan, and I still watched it to the end to make sure. But I guess they're probably pivoting more to the proto frames and, you know, the Gemini skins. Seen Indie Cross. That doesn't sound familiar. Hey, you know what does Akrithis have today?
Where you've been lately. I can tell from the dust on your boots.
Nothing good, apparently. I guess the Forma blueprint's not too bad. 5,000 Kuba. Exilus weapon adapter. Oh, a built one. That's actually decent. I'd fuck with that.
Nothing tickled your curiosity, huh?
Sparkle Dog. It has the J slur in it. We'll get every skin variant. Indeed. Also, Cool Kid Inflation PNG. What the fuck are you talking about? It's hello, Molly. Again, I'm sorry if you can hear my dog, like, snoring or anything. With her being on my lap, she'll probably be audible, at least if, like, if I'm talking. Cool Kid okay, Cool Kid underscore Inflation is a real image, but, like, it... Okay, hold on. Oh, no, wait, that's their name? Wait, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this? They made a new account? Oh my god, wait. I thought you were just referencing the image. No, there's a person named... No. It's happening again, guys. It's fucking happening again. The family reunion's fucking happening again. Some of the new death battle animations? That's neat. I'm sorry, I'm panicking. Funko Pop? I mean, this is kind of cool, though. Cool Exploiter Orb? What the fuck? Dude, maybe I have to leave the Dorma zone. I can't get brigaded like this again. Oh, my meth making station. Wake up, Tenno. This is such a pretty scene, by the way. You know, this might be a weird take. How freaky we getting? You know, that's up for you to discover. I want more Vistograph scenes. Especially because, like, if you look, there are several audioscapes. Yeah, Forests of Terra, Jungle Spaceport, Mountain Lake, Treacherous Marsh, Sands of Mars. There are no Vistograph scenes to correspond with these. I really wish we'd get more Vistographs. I would love to see ones that tie into, like, you know, Mars or the plains or, you know, the jungles of Earth, that stuff. Also, you get this room by buying the key from Hombask, where Zeraman standing. The What Kinks Do Warframes Have stream. It wasn't what they have, it's what theme or what kinks they're based on, right? Like, Korra and Harrow are both BDSM, and, you know, Hildren is a muscular woman. I stand by this theory, by the way. I just want to make that clear. My theory that Warframe themes are actually fetishes, I stand by this theory. I'll make it fit. Everything will go in the square hole. What will Araxia be? Okay, let's be real here. That should be fairly obvious. For every skybox in the game, that would be peak as fuck. What is Excal's kink? Missionary. I can't make these jokes on stream. I'm sorry. This is a family-friendly broadcast, except for when I say words like fuck, but that's besides the point. Which word was the piss kink? You should ask Sabuchi. He made a whole video about that I may or may not have done voice work for. I played Dark Souls and Quag awaken something in me. That's grim as fuck. Also, another thing about the Vistograph. Silent blue. You can see it in the preview image. There's no lens flare until you pick it, and then back out. I hate that lens flare. Also, we are way too close to Earth. Like, we are falling into this bitch right now. Look, something I want to mention. I get that in a lot of video games and sci-fi media and stuff, objects in space are gonna be too close to each other, because it looks cool, and it conveys this, you know, the magnitude of things better. But it really peeves me when it's specifically Earth and the moon, because, like, if the moon is too big in the sky, you can just go fucking look at it in real life. Like, it's so easy to notice. And then likewise, we have images of the moon, or of Earth from the moon. Let me find this, hold on. The image Earthrise from, I think it was Apollo 8? One of the Apollo missions. Let me just have this on my computer, yes. Look at this. This is a very famous image, so you've probably seen it before. This is a picture of Earth from the moon. Do you see maybe where my problems are coming in with the scale of things in this Vistograph scene? When the dinosaurs were alive? I don't see the incentive. All I'm saying is fake and gay. Fake and gay. A Nova look. Oh god. Diva? Tides are in shambles. More at 11. The moon is falling into the earth. So here, Idan, I can open a line of communication with you for, not inbox, friends. I'm assuming you're online. Yeah, open a line of communication. It's meant to look like, who is this? Is this a Project Moon reference? It probably is. I'd say it's pretty close, from my knowledge. The moon haunts you. I just, like I said, so many games do this. Not just with the moon from Earth and Earth, like, but from Earth, with Earth from the moon as well. It annoys me so much. It's spoilers? Oh, fair enough. The moon. I don't know. It's too big. It's like Ridley in Smash, bro. He's too big. Red. I have the red arrow. Look. Look, I see it. Look, this would be a great video thumbnail. Look, everyone. You see what I'm talking about? You see the horse reaction? There's Earth. Hold on. There's Earth right there in the image. In case you can't see it, that's where Earth is. Sci-fi universe that you really like other than Warframe? That's honestly a difficult question. Let me think about that. Because, like, I love... So, when it comes to being a nerd about space, the thing you're going to know the most about, generally, is stuff in the solar system, because we can study it so much more easily. Not much takes place in the solar system, though, is the thing. Like, a lot of sci-fi franchises, like, fuck off somewhere else. I think Mass Effect is a great sci-fi franchise, but not really for, like, any science-y or accuracy reason, necessarily. I just think Mass Effect's really cool. Is Spore? I respect that. Is just darkness? Yeah, so interesting thing about that, actually. Hold on, let me bring the image back up. I'm sorry, everyone. I don't think anyone gives a shit about the space nerd stuff on these streams, but it's fine. Interesting thing about that. So the reason... Because looking at this, I was really confused when I first saw this image. Because I was like, we're in space. Where the fuck are all the stars? They're literally everywhere. And from what I read, apparently the reason that they're absent is because the Earth is so bright, it's overpowering them. And the surface of the moon is also fairly bright, which is another part of why you can't see them. But that, and it matters somewhat a bit on like camera settings and stuff like that too, obviously, for what this would come out as. But yeah, it can't pick up the contrast. I think that's probably the most succinct way to put it. The Earth is just too bright. It just can't see the stars in relation to it. Which I thought was very interesting. I just realized the one of the people who said I kinda care was Cool Kid Inflation PNG. Ben 10's world building? I haven't watched Ben 10 since I was a kid. I don't know how I would answer that in like a truthful manner. Because I don't know enough about it. I liked Ben 10 a lot growing up, but... Hello, Molly. Can I help you? Anyhow, I'm switching back to the Phallus Breathes. I actually like this one. We're gonna, actually we'll leave those open for the hell of it. Why not? Pet Molly, I have been pretty much this entire time. Speaking of Ben 10, Ayo, is it? Yes! Hell yeah. You know, we'll do a Ben 10 quiz for the chat. Which Ben 10 character is this? I want to see who here knows their stuff. Also, it looks like ass. I don't like the Only Beyond scene. This is the gay sissy Hypno. Cannonbolt. Yeah, that didn't take long. This is the gay sissy Hypno. This is like, watch this video to turn into a frog. If you stare at this for long enough, you think you're a water buffalo, bro. I only know the Hebrew name for it? Damn. Have you seen the thing? Has anyone here seen that tweet where someone talked about growing up in Canada and their parents spoke mostly French? So they watched a lot of media in French, and then they'd go to their school and be like, does anyone here watch Bob L'Éponge? And people would bully them for it. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I just think that shit's hilarious. Who will be Gray Matter? Yeah, Titania is probably correct. We're just wandering around my vista. This is fucking boring. I'm sorry, everyone. Bob L'Éponge. Meth. Calamardo? Wacky. Here. We'll you know what? Why not keep the stream running a little longer? I could end the stream. We just hit 2.5 hours. It's almost 4 a.m. But... not sure how it works. Whack. Accelerate his Gauss. I can see that. What are we thinking? Here. I'm gonna do something very unorthodox. This is how I'm gonna end the stream out, I think. Oh, for linking? Because I'm on Do Not Disturb, I have to, like, open DMs with people for them to be able to send me anything. So what's my original Gauss? Damn. We'll equip Mag for this, for the sake of the series.
If I may say, operator, your chosen.
We're gonna do something unheard of. We're going to go bask in the glory of good Neptune. I should probably explain why I'm doing this real quick. Let's do, we'll do a Void Storm Exterminate, sure. Do I have any Radiance? No, I do not. That's fine. We'll just Radiant some random relic, I don't really care. We'll do this, and that'll be how we close out the stream, I think. My dog is trying to jump to her death off my lap. Maybe I can't do this. So, I have bad news. Actually, hold on. Yes. Oh wait, can I not open my lobby to invites? Well, I guess I'm loading. So I have bad news for you all. I need to talk about. I can't change it. Okay, shit. Never mind. Hold on. Not another Neptune explanation. Just because you said that I shouldn't, I'm now doing it. Does anyone here know what's coming? I think several people probably do. This is the saddest shit ever. I just want to make that clear. If you don't know... Oh, I'm sorry. That was my computer, not yours. If you don't know what happened to Neptune, I'm about to make you very sad. We'll make this good Neptune. And the Wikipedia one will be bad Neptune. Okay, bad news for you all. Bad news for COD. Here we go again. Yes, I know many people here are probably familiar, but for those who don't know, what in the actual fuck is bro talking about? You know what? I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to do volatile, just because it's a unique game mode. Yes, we're bringing up the color. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm going to make people very sad. So, for those of you who don't know what I'm about to talk about, I have bad news. You probably know Neptune, looking like this. This is actually still what Neptune looks like on the NASA website, by the way. If you go to NASA's website, this is what Neptune looks like. You probably know Neptune looking like this. Unfortunately, the information from Voyager that gave us this image was reprocessed a few years back, and it actually probably looks like this. I want to make something clear. If Warframe ever makes Neptune go from this, what it looks like right now, like you see how gorgeous this is. If they ever change the color of Neptune in-game to this, I'm gonna do something drastic, bro. They better not touch my fucking Neptune. Headcanon, the Oricon were so miffed about it that they changed it to blue. I'm still mad. It's been like 2 years since this was discovered. I'm still mad. Should I do it in Photoshop? Please, if you mean change the in-game one, no, please, I'm begging you. It's all I have left.
This is random space. All units, target the freeloaders. Disable priority targets before hitting that capital ship.
No, not in-game.
Let's take the fight to them.
Oh, it's just security nodes. What the fuck? Okay, alright, we're skipping the railjack part of the railjack mission. That's fine, I guess.
Let's make this personal. Send in a cruise ship. Tagging nearby Corpus officer. Their credentials would assist with the reactor job. You recall?
He's railjack section over. Sorry, everyone.
Enemy cruise ship is punched in.
Am I cooking? I'm sorry. If Neptune is not blue, then no, it doesn't count.
Air launch tubes.
For realism, anyway. I don't think they will. I'm just making a joke.
Launch one of our cruise ships.
What railjack? Yeah, exactly. There is no railjack in this mission anymore.
Time for the main event.
The regular Warframe mission.
Signature. Render it vulnerable to our weapons. Go.
Make Neptune green? Damn.
Reactor console on.
Straight up Neptuning it. And by it, let's just say my planets.
Security codes. The hard way. Corpus engineers will attempt to make it harder.
I don't know. Like, people on watch my streams often have seen me mention that so many times. But still, I'm still sad. That's why I prefer Uranus. Dude, Uranus is even more boring. Hold on, don't hit me with that. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm pulling this shit up now. You wanna tell me Uranus is better? Do you know what that shit actually looks like? I already exist on my computer? Yeah, sure. Sorry, that was my computer, not yours. You want to know what Uranus looks like? You think that's better than Neptune? You think that's better than Neptune? Remember, this... Hold on. What the fuck? This is bad Neptune. Remember, this is bad Neptune. You want to know what Uranus actually looks like? This is your winner. This is your guy right here in 4K. This is your guy right here. Is it? Is it the fucking orb? Your fucking orb planet? Yeah, your fucking cue ball head ass. Fucking hell no. Hell no. Get that shit out of here. Get that shit out of here immediately. You're gonna tell us Mars is orange or some shit? I mean, it's not as vibrant as you probably think it is, but... True color is a hell of a thing, dude. Blender ball looking head ass? Yeah, truly. Oh, now didn't pull in time? Damn. True color images in astronomy are fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say. Jesus Christ, he just tried to optic ore my ass. I just realized I forgot to invite Blueprint because he asked if John Warframe could join. I fucked up. Hold on. This is not good. Is really scary regardless of how boring it looks. I will say, as much as I love space, the reality of things is often a lot more boring than like the false color images we get. Like, that stuff is all really, you know, visually appealing, but just inaccurate. People don't seem to understand this. So I'm going to kind of give you guys a little bit of an explanation. Actually, I'll do that later. Someone remind me to do this explanation when this mission's over so I don't forget. Unless you guys don't care, then I guess I won't do it. It's another space nerd topic, but I think it's interesting. It's actually going to be relevant in the Venus video coming up here soon, so... Void a shell orb in real life? True. New void shell material. Flat Uranus. Yeah, if someone remind me to do the false color versus true color explanation thing once this mission is over. I'll also have to remember to invite John Warframe for something. Implying Blueprint is still here, I guess. At least Jupiter is fine, right? For the most part. How many for don't remind him? Damn. John Warframe. Bent immediately. Ding, 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 ding. Sorry, Amogus. Break this? Okay. I think I should be fine. Sai is sus. Indeed, he is. Amogus. Just do some advanced maneuvers. Don't enter the cannon and die. It's more blue than Neptune. I mean, this is true. Okay, let me extract from this mission. Actually gets usable amount of sunlight. There have been a lot of probes sent to Jupiter, not necessarily to study it, but just to, like, view it. The main ones were Voyager and Juno. I think Juno is still in operation, actually. I believe Juno's still out there. It's like Venus. We have a lot of images of Venus, too, because it's just close and there's a lot of stuff we can do with it. Jupiter's not up to the same level, but I think the most studied planet we have is either Venus or, I guess, probably Mars. Oh, right, the weak point part. I totally forgot about this. What Warframe do you main? I'm an idiot. Not really any of them. Earth is the most studied. I should clarify. Most studied planet that is not our own. That's kind of cheating, I feel like, if we're going to leave Earth as an option. I hope cheap shot rolls, so I don't have to go make more dome charges. I am locking on to the fucking turret when I zoom in. I'm being boarded, but I do not give a shit. Oh. My god. My apologies, everyone. My dog has unplugged my headphones, much like my mom unplugged the router. Give me a second here. I cannot get them plugged back in. I cannot hear. Okay. Molly, are you geeking? Okay, my audio is back. I'm gonna just set my dog on her bed so she can have a nice time over there. Okay, anyways. My apologies. That was a certified dog moment. Your plant unplugs your monitor. It could happen. It could happen. I don't have a plant, but like if I did, it could happen. Okay. With your headphones. She unplugs my headphones all the time. She'll just walk through the cord and pull them out. Okay. We're just gonna close these, just so I don't keep getting distracted by them. Okay. Let me grab some images, thank you, for the, false color versus true color thing. Let me double check my sources on this. I think it is on the Wikipedia page that there is the UV one. And then where's the Magellan radio or radar imaging? Yeah, here it is. This is the radar image.
We have too many weapons. I propose replacing a turret with a tachyon wave analyzer.
That's crazy.
Significant data returns may be anticipated.
Okay, so I have a thing to discuss with you all. I think this topic is interesting. I hope that you all do too. So, who stopped me from laying claim to Saturn? They are. Who is they? Okay, so time to explain a thing. Time to explain a thing. This would actually probably be better with Venus out the window, because that's going to be my example. So, when you think of Venus, there's probably a few different images that you think of. And I have bad news for you all. Venus, in real life, looks like this. This is an image from Messenger. If you watched the Astronomy of Warframe video for Mercury, you're familiar with that name. So Venus looks like this. It's not super interesting at face value. This is because its atmosphere is super thick. So Venus is a rocky planet. It's not a gas giant like Uranus and Neptune, but it's got a very, very thick atmosphere. Like, to put this into perspective, if you were on the surface of Venus, the temperature is around 900 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot enough to melt lead, and the atmospheric pressure is 93 times that of Earth. That would be like being almost a kilometer below the ocean, or 3,000 feet if you're American. So it has an incredibly thick atmosphere, and it obscures the surface pretty much entirely. Here's the thing, though. So, this is a true color image. So this is what we would, if you were orbiting Venus, this is what you would see. But fortunately, there's more to things than true color. A literal metal clouds, then. So the clouds aren't made of metal, they're mostly made of carbon dioxide. And there's clouds that, like, rain sulfuric acid, and I think they contain iron sulfate and stuff, too. But, so, fortunately, we only see in the visible spectrum, but cameras don't necessarily have to. And we can glean a lot of interesting information by viewing things in other wavelengths of light. So, for example, this is a view of Venus in the ultraviolet spectrum, and then we shifted it back into visible light. This gives you a better look of what its clouds look like, because that UV light is able to be interpreted, by the camera and then turned back into visible light. So, like, this is what a UV camera sees, shifted for us to be able to see it, and this is what we would see here on the right. The one that I think is the most interesting, though, this was in, I want to say the 70s or 80s. NASA launched a probe called Magellan that got it had special equipment. So if you've seen Venus in Warframe before Spectres of the Rail, this is what it used to look like. This image, it was taken with radar. So what you're seeing is, despite all of these clouds and this thick atmosphere, this is Venus's surface. We used special radar to penetrate through the clouds and actually map the surface. Over 98% of Venus's surface is mapped. Now, this picture, yeah, we were doing, because it was in such a low, or like a long frequency, or a long wavelength, it's very orange, but this is, like, mapping of the surface with radar. So these are the different ways that we've observed Venus, or some of the different ways, right? We have the true color image, which is what you'd actually see. This is kind of getting difficult to organize. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. So yeah, you have your true color image, and then your ultraviolet and your radar images. We do also have, I've mentioned this before, also the ground is not molten necessarily, but, okay, so, thing about Venus in terms of its geology. So, Venus is very much volcanic. It has a shit ton of volcanoes on it, and most of the ground is volcanic rock. But the temperature of the atmosphere is not hot enough necessarily to make, like, the ground lava everywhere. However, there is evidence that the temperature makes solids underneath the surface act like the rock there would be more of the consistency of, like, peanut butter than, like, what we're familiar with a rock being like. But on Venus, what we think happens, because Venus doesn't seem to have plate tectonics. Like, if you guys, remember this from school, we have continental drift and plate tectonics on Earth, where there are continental plates, and they slide over and under each other and, like, renew surface material through a process called subduction. Those are subduction zones. Venus does not have this process on it, but instead what happens is the mantle, so you have, like, the thin outer crust of the planet, and then the mantle, and then the outer and inner core. The mantle gets so hot from being stuck under the surface of the planet that eventually it starts to basically burst up through the ground, and you have these huge resurfacing events every few 100 million years that very suddenly basically replace all of the planet's surface relatively close to each other. We found some regions that are older than this, but from what we've observed on Venus, it seems like there are these, like I said, like giant restructuring events that happen where all of the pressure and heat that builds up finally bursts through the crust and escapes. And, there are regions of Venus that will be covered in lava for a time as that process is happening. So that's how we think it probably works. We've never actually seen this happen, but with the amount of volcanoes and stuff, there's relatively good circumstantial evidence, as well as that Venus has very few craters on it, so we know that there's something going on there. Like, Venus's atmosphere is so thick that if an object is less than 50 meters in diameter, it just will not survive. It won't even reach the surface. But even the objects that have reached the surface and, actually left a crater, a lot of those craters are in fairly pristine condition, which tells us two things. One, that geologically it's not very active, because they're not going anywhere, but that, two, there should be a lot more craters, and something is eventually getting rid of them, which is like that, like I mentioned, sort of global subduction process, where everything gets renewed every few 100 million years or so. At least that's what we think, is that it's probably on that kind of time scale. So, the Venera probes, yeah, so let me find these. So the Russians, back during the space race, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you all, did a lot of things that we do not in the West give them good enough credit for. And one of the big ones was the construction of the Venera program. Venera contained a lot of different landers. I think there were, I want to say, when it comes to, like, Venera, like, numbered ones, there was, like, 12? I think there might have been more than that. There were 16, okay. So, Venera was a Russian program for going to Venus. And like I said, Venus's atmosphere is like 900 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's 93 times the atmospheric pressure of Earth. So, obviously, it's a bit of a struggle to put something on another planet that has those types of conditions. However, the Russians did do it. Now, I'm assuming the color... Sorry, that was my computer, not yours. The color here is probably not entirely accurate, because I'm pretty sure that, you know, a lot of these images would have to be adjusted after the fact. But we do have images of the surface of Venus. These were back from the 70s. This one is from Venera 13. Let me go ahead and just remove these. These aren't relevant anymore. This is from Venera 13. This is what it looks like on the surface of Venus. So you can see, like I mentioned, let me get the red arrow for maximum comedic effect. You can see, like I said, it's a lot of volcanic rock. The sky is very hazy. Minecraft with a resource pack. So, funny thing, Venera, I think it was 10 and 11 or 11 and 12. So, hold on, let me find the Venera 8 image. I think this one's fucking hilarious. So, there aren't that many photos of Venus. In fact, Venera was the only program that ever imaged Venus. But I want to show something kind of funny. So, let me grab this. These are images from earlier, I think this is like 8 and 9, Venera 8 and 9. That should probably not take up the whole screen. You might notice something. These kind of look weird, right? Like, they're at a sort of like weird curvature, and they're just of the ground. The reason for this is because the Russians wanted a panoramic view, so it would be like a full 360. But these probes both failed to deploy one of their lens caps. So we only have half of their panoramas because the lens caps didn't deploy. And then I think it was for Venera 11 and 12, both of their lens caps didn't deploy, and the images they were supposed to send us never happened because they couldn't take any pictures. I think that shit's kind of funny, but this is still like a monumentous scientific achievement. The fact that we did this, or that the Russians did this in the 70s is crazy to me. It was over 50 years ago that we got these pictures, and we've never been back. Yeah, those were the first ever photos of another planet. An Orbalis Venus. So there is a genuine explanation for why it's like that in Warframe. The Orokin were terraforming Venus, and they made these structures. You know, I could... Fuck it. We're getting sidetracked. I'm sorry, everyone. I need to go to the Orbalis to explain this. Actually, let's do the Captura scene. Let's do the Captura scene. That would be better. We'll do it as Sparkle Dog for maximum comedic effect. The Morbalis. This is more or less just a preview of the shit I'm going to be talking about in the next episode. So, here's the thing. So you might notice, after what I described to you, that Venus here is decidedly very not warm. And the reason for that is these things. These are called the Weeping Towers. They, you know, siphon up this coolant and pour it out into these rivers to cool the planet's surface. There's actually really interesting lore about why, or like the process here as well. This was supposed to be explained and explored in the game more, but it was kind of cut from the loop. But this crater here, this is like Asta Crater? Yeah. So you might notice, Asta Crater has this big thing in it. You've got this sort of like giant ball, and there's these tendrils that emerge from it, and there's rocks and stuff stuck in them. So how this worked, this was actually explained in an old dev stream that Grey Archon sent me. The original concept for the Orb Valis was like this. These things, you would have these balls, right? Like, in fact, there's actually one of them over here. These orbs, if you will. These things. What they would do is the Orokin would send them up into the high atmosphere, and they would grow those long tendrils. And those tendrils would freeze and ice up, and then those glaciers would fall back down to the surface, crash down and deposit all of that material, and the Weeping Towers, which as you might notice are strategically placed near these craters, would suck up all of that coolant and start to deploy it across the landscape. And while the original gameplay loop for the Valis was supposed to be that these glaciers crashing down, was going to be a thing we would see, and there would be gameplay elements associated with that. That didn't happen, but instead we still did get the lore of this told through the environment with Asta, and I think it's Ustara Crater, as well as the object at the Pearl. So that was how the Orokin handled the terraforming process early on. They would produce coolant by using these glaciers, and then the coolant would be distributed by the Weeping Towers. It seems like it's possible that the Corpus are potentially studying this at the Pearl to try and replicate the process themselves, but I can't really say for sure. So, the thing is, Venus was not supposed to be like this. It was not supposed to be frozen. The goal was to make it temperate enough to be hospitable. The thing is, the Orokin aren't really around anymore in modern Warframe, and when that happened, the Weeping Towers never shut off. They just kept going for potentially thousands of years. They just kept running, and because of that, Venus just kept cooling more and more until we got to this point. After the new war, it seems like Narmer was able to operate the towers correctly, and from that point forward, you know, it was closer in line to the Orokin's original vision, which makes sense, because, you know, Valis is in charge of things. He was probably trying to bring the Valis more in line with what they originally wanted. The other thing that I think is really fascinating about the Valis, so first of all, something has to have been done with Venus's atmosphere. If we were still on that, you know, 93 times atmospheric pressure, none of this could exist, right? Not in the sense that it does. So here's the thing, and I kind of to explain that more about the whole that wouldn't cool Venus down this much. The orb Valis is not the entire planet. Only a portion of Venus is actually frozen. So to kind of elaborate on what I mean, let's leave Captura for a minute. So to elaborate on what I mean, Thursby in the Voxelaris quest has a line about the Orb Valis being a blizzard and a firestorm. So it seems like the Valis and the surrounding region that was being terraformed is not the entirety of the planet. And even beyond that, if we go into the Venus Railjack areas, you can kind of see that it looks like a lot of the planet is still actively having, like, firestorms present on them. We can go ahead and take a look at this real quick. I'm just basically spoiling my material for my next video, but that's besides the point. Sounds cool as hell. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, sorry, my CPU usage is probably going to skyrocket for a minute. The stream might die for a second. So here's the Venus Railjack skybox. Something I do want to point out as well, these things, these towers, are fucking everywhere. And I don't really know what they were for. You can see a bunch of them in the skybox here. They're out in the distance. There's this, like, mega structure. You can kind of see it there. That's surrounded by them. These look like they're of Corpus construction, but they're just surrounded by those tower things. They're even the side objective in this region, which is really interesting. But if you look on the surface of the planet, it looks like they're still it's experiencing, like, some kind of firestorms. And I think that's something that could be the case because of, the region of the Valis being colder would probably be, you know, fucking with the atmosphere a little bit. There's also something to consider. On Venus, we've observed a really interesting phenomenon called volcanic lightning. So we don't think that the typical conditions to create lightning really exist in Venus's atmosphere, at least like they do on Earth, but there's way more atmosphere, or way more lightning in their atmosphere than there is for us. And we think that's because of volcanoes, and sort of the effects they have on the atmosphere directly above them, which is really cool. Have them on Earth, I think. The reason I mention this with the towers is because we can see one crashed down on the Valis, too. And I don't really know what they're for. It's one of the things I've been sort of still working on in the notes for the video. Into fucking spaceship. I think this logo's very hard. Yeah, that demo, maybe it'd be worth rewatching to see if it gives us any more information or insight about these things, but
There will be other days.
orbital defense platforms, defense stuff from 2018 TennoCon. I'll have to look into the old demo, now that you mention it, and see. Because like I said, you can see one crashed in the Valis as well. That's a good point, though. I didn't even think about rewatching the demo. I'll have to give that a look. I'll have to pull it up once the stream is over. I think it was TennoCon 2018 that would have been. So yeah, there's your brief rundown, I guess. I say brief, that took like, I don't know, what, 20 minutes? I think it was a giant drill. I mean, who knows? Rip Neptune. Yeah, there's my sort of rundown about the whole Venus thing. Take control of the space above. I think that it's probably the case, like for me, in my view at least, that they're probably just derelict, and so their orbit's decaying, right? Like they're slowly falling into Venus. And eventually, they just crash back down to the surface. There are the derelict objects in the Veil. Huh, interesting. Something I do wonder in regards to the Valis as well. So a big part of why Venus is so hot, it's actually the hottest planet in the entire solar system, despite being farther away from the sun than Mercury. Part of why it's so hot is because its atmosphere is so full of carbon dioxide. The heat that is, reaches the planet never really escapes into space. And so the planet is actually so hot, there isn't even that big of a temperature difference between the day and nighttime sides. So I feel like the atmosphere, something's going on both to reduce the pressure and to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide, I'd imagine. I wonder personally, maybe the mushrooms have something to do with that. If they have some process for, like, maybe they take advantage of the volcanic, like, deposits in the soil from how, Venus is. Or, if they're potentially here to sort of, like, help with the atmospheric problem, if that's why they were placed on Venus. Maybe they're even a natural feature. I guess I don't really know for sure, but I feel like the Gorgaricus fungi are very interesting. Heat can't distribute more easily. Yeah, it's interesting too, though, because of the way Venus spins. It's... maybe it's not worth explaining this in a live stream, actually. Morb Valis is just frozen CO2. It may well be. I don't really know for sure. Day and night on Earth either. I mean, there still definitely is a difference, especially depending on the region, of a fairly large amount, I would say, personally. But we do still have an atmosphere that holds quite a bit of the heat. But, like, on Venus, it's to a much greater extent. Because, yeah, the greenhouse effect from all of the carbon dioxide, it just never, like I said, it never escapes back into space. Venus is upside down. Kind of? The weird thing on the horizon and the orb, then? Okay, so here's my theory for that. That thing is not... Because obviously, you can't see the sun in the skybox. That thing is the Corpus Reflector, and I can actually show this kind of if we do something real quick. So I can prove my inane ramblings here real quick. I'll do a mission on Venus to get its skybox, but that is a giant reflector that the Corpus have over the Orb Valis. And sort of my theory is the cold cycles are when the light is more indirect, and the warm cycles are when the light from the reflector is more direct. That's my sort of current thought process. John Warframe. I do need to bring on John Warframe. Shit, this has been going on for longer than I expected. Well, let me just kidnap this guy real quick. Waste my Kuba with a Valis Shroom.
Mission complete. The captive has been escorted to the extraction point. Well done.
Sunrise to sunset would take 117 Earth days. Yeah, so that's the thing. So that's Venus's solar day length. Its sidereal day length, I think, is 240 days. But because of its retrograde rotation, it's kind of able to slip parts of the planet out of the sun's line of, the rays of the sun faster than just by rotating. Or just by revolving. But, yeah, its solar day is 117 days, and I believe its sidereal day is 240. Okay. So I mentioned the reflector, implying my skybox isn't bugged. Yeah, that's that thing. You can see kind of around it, as far as I'm aware at least, that there's the sun behind Venus, sort of. And then that's the Corpus Reflector, I would imagine. The Corpus Reflector, I'm guessing, probably is present to RJ Interior. I guess I could take a look at that or look through that for the better view. But my guess about the reflector is to ensure that there's consistent daylight so that work can be performed more like regularly. We know, as far as I'm aware, at least, that this is probably a Corpus construction. If you look at the Hildren Prime trailer, it actually takes place on the Valis at night. So it seems like in that era, like right after the Orokin collapse, or maybe during the Orokin rule, the reflector was not a thing yet. My thoughts for the reflector's existence is that it probably is there to ensure that the Valis is constantly in a sight, constantly in daylight at all times. And my reasoning for that is because you can do more work when there's light out, right? So in order to ensure that the operation stays moving, they just keep the lights on all the time. Fortuna and stuff is all underground anyway, so... Well, what the fuck up? True. This can't be that profitable. I feel like when you're a group like the Corpus that have infinite money, it probably is a net positive to have, look at it this way. Venus has a solar day of 117 days. Wouldn't it probably be easier to just have it be light outside all the time than for a period of about 60 days, you just can't fucking see anything? I feel like it is probably more efficient for them, instead of having everyone have flashlights and glow sticks, to just have a giant thing that constantly hovers over it and keeps it lit up all the time. A night vision goggles in existence? I mean, even if that is true, I still feel like it would probably be, in a broad sense, probably the most effective and blanket, helpful option to just not have to, reduce work or require special equipment for 50 days, 60 days, right? And yeah, Reflector Control is also a location on the Valis where they communicate with the Reflector. Instead of lampposts, incredible. I mean, it seems to be working out fairly well for them, all things considered. How much are you willing to pay for Nesha Heirloom? I don't know, the same as the existing ones, I guess? Can we blow up the big mirror? Not really. I guess one more thing I want to bring up, right? I know I've been going on this tangent for a while, but... isn't special equipment? It's not individual special equipment. Like, if you had to gear up your guys with individual special equipment, it would probably be a lot worse. Being over a video game. Look, I don't think that was what I'm trying to argue is not true. Something I just kind of want to show. I was messing around with this once. Let me find... We'll do scene... Yeah, time of day like that. And then I set... There's a particular filter. Where is it? I never used this feature. Here it is. Shit, which one was it? Yeah, cross-process. This, I feel like, can kind of get the vibe across, right? We lower the scene light if it wants to cooperate. Maybe I have to lower the exposure. Scene light's not cooperating. Yeah, this is about as close as you can get to nighttime Valis, I think. With a few Captura filters. It's still not quite there, right? I wish it was darker. I wish the scene light slider actually worked. Let me just nuke the exposure, dude. Fuck it. My filter stopped working. Oh, that's hella dark. Welcome to the nighttime Valis, everyone. That needs to go up just a little bit. This would be cool. A man can dream that this would be possible one day. But, unfortunately, 1984 or whatever the fuck. This looks kind of cursed. Okay, thank you, Cool Kid Inflation PNG, for your insightful commentary. Of the 117th day night? Yeah, deadass. So yeah, that's just a small thing. Alright, now make it ultra bright. Are you guys sure you want to see that? Are you... Oh, God. I could make it even worse. Hold on. That it's a bleach. It's so fucking bright. Burn, we have a negative. That's more tolerable, actually. This is what Narmer sees. Oh my god, it's so bright. This is fucked up. Like a legit Venus nighttime capture. That could be cool, actually. You know, in the time before the corpus fucked everything up. I need to, just so I don't forget, I need to grab the, I need to grab a few things for my notes here. That's all the probes. My notes document is so fucking long. I just want to add this real quick. Where is my section for Orc and Dig Site? Want to update my notes a little bit and get some things pulled up for this. My apologies, everyone. Brief intermission while I, Oh my god, there's so much stuff in this fucking document. I don't care about fish materials. That's not what I'm fucking looking for. Where is the railjack part? Here it is. Okay. That has been squared away. I just needed to make sure I got that done so I wouldn't forget. Also on Nighttime Venus. It might be. I'm not entirely sure. How's your amp? It's doing good. Thank you for asking, Kazette. Let me grab the TennoCon 2018
Operator,
gameplay.
did you hear that? It said
I do want to pull this up for later.
cosmic background radiation is a riot.
Yeah, 10 live. We're gonna pause this and then jump forward to the railjack part. Okay, I need to save this for later for my note-taking, because people mentioned it, and I think that I should consult it. I need to show you something before I go have lunch. Okay, here. My apologies, John Warframe. You know what, hold on, let me just straight up... Right, I'm still in solo mode, shit. We have to have our brief brush with John Warframe this stream. Alright, Blueprint, lay it on me. What's about to happen? I'm a little scared, I'm not gonna lie, but... John Warframe? What am I looking at exactly? We have the Void Shell, and then the, he's like a dude getting, like, vaporized in Tron. He's Tron Warframe. What the fuck? Wire Matrix Ephemera, all black on the Void Shell skin. I forgot to take him out of Blender. Oh, shit. Damn. John Warframe has unfortunately not been, he has not been rendered correctly. Or rendered at all, really. Excalibur is the default Blender cube. That's fucked up. My throat's starting to hurt from how long this has been going on for. You know what, we'll leave this on. This will be our final certified lurker moment. If you've just been hanging out in the chat and haven't been saying much, I've been doing a lot of these this stream, but fuck it. Can I get some John Warframe so let me know that you're here and that you're alive? Just a few John Warframes to close out the stream. The default Blender shape. Thank you all for the John Warframes. God damn it, the fucking backwards Cool Kid 369 is back too. Son of a bitch. That's not the Rhino skin. I guess we're gonna have Araxia, or I think that's her name, Araxia, coming soon. So I guess her, but otherwise none that I can really think of. I guess Titania actually would be one Warframe. One. Always be Johning your Warframes. John Blender. Hell yeah. One Warframe. All Warframes look like bugs. That's an interesting take. You know what? I think I have... I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do, like, a proper mission. I'm sorry, Blueprint. My Space Rant segment went on for too long. I feel like I need to end the stream. It's almost 5 in the morning. However, I have one more thing that we should do before I go. One last thing for real this time. One last thing for real this time. You might have noticed that, you know, my regular co-host, my stupid idiot boyfriend that I love very much, is not here currently. But we can visit him. We can visit him in Daggeth's Hollow. There he is. Dude, I love people who aren't familiar with my streams and don't get that my boyfriend is a brony are probably going to see this and be like, Wash? Is that you? Fucking hell, dude. My boyfriend Nitro, real. The fuck is this peak? My cape is Fluttershy. I respect that. Click the Crimson Branch. You see? Yes, I have seen the Hello Idan gif multiple times. Woke jump scare. Are you familiar with Mr. Hands? Yes, I hear this joke minimum once a stream. I'm gonna be honest with you. My horse is strong. The horse. No, you don't have to feel bad about it, Ben. But I just like, yeah, I hear it very often. Why is he in the timeout corner? This is where his water is. Unfortunately, there are fish flakes in his water. I give him the fish flakes for added nutrition when he drinks. Chetty Chazbear is gonna sell his bath water, I guess. In there. Nitro gets 3 whole bundles of hay, and he gets his fish flake infused water. There were fish in there too, but there aren't anymore. I saw they had a horse fursona. He is a brony, yes. I guess you could argue it's also a horse fursona, sure, but rent can't be that high. Where do you think the corpse came from? He's even got this cool, fancy, and very safe with it being right above a bunch of hay. Burning lamp. Nitro is just hanging out in the corner. Did John Horse ate all the fish? Yes. 2-sentence horror story. You can also see there's no actual texture to the bottom of this trough. It's just like rocks. What the fuck, actually? Omega-3 fats. True. Is Daggett food? Not really. She's very, like, ossified, I think is the word I'm looking for. All the spider webs. I don't really think she's, particularly edible in her current state, at least. But get a better look at the bottom of the trough. I guess I could do that. It's just, yeah, it's just the fucking ground. Wait a minute. Are you guys seeing this? Hold on. Am I tweaking, or is the volume of water not interacting with this right? I think that's just the shader, actually. The purchase from Daggeth's Hollow. Was that a bug for a time? Oh yeah, I remember reading about that. I never did it myself, but yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, that was a thing. Okay, well, this stream has kind of gone on for much longer than I expected. They were roommates. Yeah, that's true. The horse. Something that I don't think people have noticed, or really mentioned. In a lot of my videos, I include shots that contain my Kaith just as kind of an Easter egg. In fact, in Making Dargans Overpowered, in the background of most of the shots, you can actually see Nitro getting progressively closer to the camera. I think it's it's like a fun little Easter egg I hid in it, that he was in the background of a bunch of shots in that video. I think that that's been fixed since you used to be able to do it with a bug. where I can just probably check this right now, actually, dragging this out even longer. But in the bottom left corner of the screen this whole time, that's up to viewer interpretation. But yes, there was a bug. So I have this on a hotkey. If you hotkeyed it and then immediately entered your operator, the horse would spawn without a rider. But I think it's been fixed. I cannot seem to replicate it. It used to be very easy. Now I can't do it at all. Oh, okay. There we go. I guess they just made it harder. I literally tried this for like 10 minutes once and could not get it to work. The timing is just tighter now, I suppose. You know what? Good ending. It's not fixed. Praise be. We can let Nitro off the leash. We have to bring Nitro back to the Orb Ballast from time to time. Nitro loves the Ballast and loves the snow, like the snowy, you know, atmosphere of it all. But after, like, to kind of put this into perspective, before Nitro and I were ever dating, we spent a lot of time on the Ballast together because, that was what got him back into Warframe. He had not played the game in years until this update came out, and he and I played it together a lot, you know, way back before we started dating, because that was in 2018. And, like, we had a lot of, you know, bonding moments as friends, and then ultimately, you know, fond memories as partners over the content that was here. And, like, Fortuna 69 was a big thing he was a part of, and, you know, the Orb Ballast in general was a place that, it was easily his favorite location in Warframe. And so after the new war came out, and they changed it, Nitro just quit the game for, like, a year. Because it was like, they took away the thing he loved the most from the game. Like, oftentimes we'd play on the Ballast just to be here, right? Like, we had this playlist, that was a bunch of synthwave music, and it was a shared playlist we had, and we put it on and we just do stuff here, just for the fun of it. But after the new war, that was kind of taken from us. And it makes me really sad to think about, because, like, Nitro ultimately obviously came back to the game, and for a time we would have, like, our new player friends, we would make them host lobbies so that we could play on the Orb Ballast in this state, because if the host is a newer player who hasn't done the new war, it defaults to their Ballast. But it makes me so sad that there's no way to go back to the old Ballast unless you do something like that. Because, like, I feel like it should just be a part of creator mode, honestly. Just if you have creator mode enabled, just put that player in the older instances. I don't know why it's such a problem, but I think it's really sad that this is kind of gone. And yes, I did make an alt account that was deliberately, or specifically just so that we could connect to the alt as the host of lobbies to play on the Ballast again. Because after some things happened, a lot of the newer friends that were playing the game that we were using as sort of our host mule either don't play the game anymore or just aren't friends with us anymore. So, also, if you go to the Vox Solaris quest, it breaks after the first mission and becomes the post-New War quest, or area again. It's so fucking stupid. Finally cleaning up the planes. You know, I can wish. It just makes me very sad. Like, one day, I hope I get the chance to tell someone at DE how much it would mean to me if this came back, and how much it would mean to him if this came back. Because it makes me so sad. At least, that's the reason they gave us. Like, my thing as well, though, is, like, this Ballast still exists. The old instances still exist. You can still connect to them. It's purely based on who's the host. None of this stuff is, like, gone from the game, necessarily. If I decided to play with a pre-New War person, I'd be here still. I don't know why I can't just connect to those locations. I don't know. It just makes me very sad that it's gone, and I wish there was some way to access it again, because, like, a very big part of, you know, a very big thing that Nitro and I bonded over is just not really accessible anymore, and it makes me very sad. That's my emotional tirade at 4 a.m. before I, you know, kill the stream. It makes me very sad that you can't go back to these older locations. With Narmer junk so many years later? That's a great fucking question, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always found that really weird, too. I think, you know what, here. Live horse reaction. Shit, hold on. Live horse reaction. Live horse reaction. There's no content aside from getting Zaku. Yeah, that and the Sentients wouldn't touch that place with a 10-foot fucking pole. Like, the reason it was turned infested was specifically to get rid of them, and I think if you look on the new war, like in the map, in the star chart, there are no Murexes near Deimos. They are not touching that fucking place. Come on, yeah, let me speed it up. I think the rain slider has something to do with the wind intensity. New war was 4 years ago. It was closer to 3. It was December of 2021. But yeah, it's been 3.5. I'm trying to think. I need toggle advance time. And then game speed. Is that a checkbox? I never do any of this kind of shit. Oh yeah, here it is. Nitro's geekin'. Nitro's geekin'. This is Nitro after 1 coffee. What the fuck? Look at him go. He's actually just tapping his hooves because he has ADHD. Near the Void Notes? I don't think so. Blood Razor's still playing. There's still people with Excalibur Prime and shit around, so... I love how my Moa's also tweaking the fuck out. You can just hear it geeking in the background. Yeah, the Moa... He sounds like a fucking chew toy. God bless the game. You know, I actually wonder... Can I input... Wait, please tell me. No, you can't enter something bigger than 5? Damn it. They thought of that. Because you can do that with field of view, unless they fix this. Your field of view, yeah, can go below 20 if you just manually enter it. Oh, this is so fucked. This is evil horse telekinesis. Yeah, the awesome lesbian couple versus the evil and intimidating horse. Inverted quick speaking in reverse. Look at how quickly as well the clouds are moving. The fucking reflector is moving. Everything is fucked. Everything is fucked. Gay horse jump scare. Made in heaven. Evil intimidating squeaky Moa. Yeah, true. We also had... So back in the day, I said... Oh, oh, shit. I've never messed with this before. Holy fuck. Me on my way to fucking Walmart. Holy shit. Me going outside when I hear the heat's been stroking people. What the fuck? Hold on. I wanna... The bullet jump isn't even, like, carrying that well. Hold on. Switch to Volt? Yeah, good idea. Gauss would also be a good one. Well, let's do Gauss. Hold on, I just want to know. The noise it makes, dude. His footsteps. What the fuck? This is actually really awkward to control. Holy fuck. This is so fucking dumb. I heard heat stroking, but I had to lock in. Me on my journey to find who asked. Dude, I'm B-hopping, advanced tech. This is lore accurate, Gauss. This is what it's like. If Warframe was made on fucking Source, bro. What the fuck? Oh, this is so fucked up. When I see women, I fear them. I like how my pause menu is just like... Yeah, got the speed to it, too. It's what the guys at Ultra saw. I believe that. Well, let me grab Volt. We just fucking... He's tweaking out. Oh, the duration is so short. I gotta mash it. twitching all over. I could. VR chat stream when? That is never happening. I'm sorry, Gazette. I want a handshake for a daily. How much strength is on that? We're geeking the fuck out. We're in Captura, and we have 5 times game speed enabled. I wonder, what about, like, so yeah, Gauss you mentioned. Just tweaking the fuck out. What about, like, Atlas? Bouncing everywhere. We need Grendel Meatball? Good point. Delightfully devilish Seymour. Oh god, when I hit the sprint button, what the fuck? It sounds like I'm a Gary's mod, like, prop stuck in a wall. What the fuck is this shit? I'm surprised I've never messed with this before. This is peak. What the actual fuck? Titania Razor Wing? Oh god. Oh fuck. Oh right, I forgot my default config doesn't have it on, does it? Stemir Nourish? Actually, hold on. I think it's this loadout? No, it's this one. Or no, what the fuck? It's the one called Nourish. I'm a dipshit. What the fuck? What is this shit? What is this sound, dude? This is fine. This is fine. This is normal. I'm really putting the game's level of detail system through its fucking paces right now. Holy shit. You know, I'm curious. How long does Rip Line last for? Like, if I cast it on something? Just fucking, I am geeked the fuck out. Gravity is so high, too, because of the increased time scale. This is like what it would be like on Jupiter in real life. This is so fucked. Freddy Fazbear. Zephyr Zoom? That's a good idea. That's so fucked. Even because the game speed is so high, even just tapping the one, the game thinks it's me holding it. I have to tap it really, really fast. For 0.2 seconds. I want to see something as well. The Wu clone, when he dies, I just want to watch. He just fucking... There he goes. Zephyr not towards the Temple of Prophet. Turn on the data pad. Any channel. They hit the fucking temple. God, this is so fucked. I don't know why this is so funny, but it is. How fast are the emotes? I'm geeking. The agree. The fucking... I hit the fucking Ropalo list. Redline emote? I actually do have a redliner, yeah. I hit the Forge World. Them two hide like a watering can. You have any Coda emotes? I don't think I have any of them equipped. Oh my god. Optimal? This is optimal. I wonder if the Geminis are... Oh, that's fucking disorienting. Sounds not, though. Oh, I just barely touched it and just blacked out. Woke up in the Skyrim intro. Imagine playing the game like this normally. That goes so fucking hard. That would be honestly a really funny, like, joke event. Increased time scale war, or like a game speed Warframe. I would fuck with that heavy. I actually kind of want to see... Why are you not... There we go. He just spit out all his children. Ooh, calling backstory. I mean, that could be interesting. I'd say go for it. Wisp speed mode? Oh, hell no. What if I spawned, like, call in them, actually? Would his dropship still show up? Does he just spawn in? Okay, he just spawns in. Woke up to a Cool Kids stream. I'm so sorry. I drank the Cool NFC colors I didn't know existed. This is what your time scale is like. Dude, even the fucking air support timer ticks down faster. But that's a good point. Hold on. I said I was gonna end the stream and then I got on my fucking bullshit again. I'm so sorry, everyone. Boy, that's what I can see. Let me get, like, mag, because I don't have the, some of the other Gemini skins. No, they don't have, increased speed for the lines. Someone mentioned Urelli. Oh, God. Oh, I'm so fast. What the fuck is going on right now? This is so hard to control. You have no idea. Oh, God. This is so fucked. Necromech dash. Alright, I gotta get off Marilena. I can't tap it short enough to initiate the dash. Oh god, this is so weird to control. Oh god! What the fuck? Hitting this in a quick enough window to actually engage it is really hard. Fucking hell, that's so hard to control. The fuck, yeah, the necromech noises. I can almost understand him. I just realized, no fucking shot. In the mech, my sensitivity is affected by the game speed. That's why it's so hard to control. My fucking sensitivity is higher in the mech. What? What the fuck? I'm curious, hold on. If we take the game speed and, like, trash it... Yeah, my sensitivity is normal. But then when I turn it up... It didn't save. Yeah, it's way higher. What the fuck? Are they actually saying anything? Not that I'm aware of. It's just mechanical, you know... Fucking the sounds. This is so... In fact, it runs like a sewing machine. I could put it just a little bit above 0. We could do, like... Hold on. What's the smallest value I can give it? Like 0.01? Oh, I can't... Hold on. I can't... It won't let me manually enter values below. Hold on. 0.5. That's not right. There's no way that that's actually 0.5 game speed. I do not believe that. Or 0.05 game speed. Hold on. Something's not working. This is definitely not working right. Oh, I just straight up broke it. Okay, that might have fixed it. Hold on. Let me uncheck and then recheck. Oh, Christ. All fucking mighty, dude. 1/10 normal game speed. This is fucked. This is fucked. Kufazar reload be like. Oh god. Withdrawals kicking in. This is what happens when you fucking... This is what happens to people in Katana 0 when they stop taking Chronos, bro. What the fuck? Oh, Suckmud is live? Hold on, this is a great opportunity. This is a great opportunity. Okay, everyone. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me. This has been a bit more bizarre than I expected. I hope you all appreciate the nonsensical nature of this stream. I imagine it's probably a little bit difficult to follow, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, I guess. That's just how we run things. Kiss your boyfriend. I would if he didn't live 1,000 miles away. Thank you for the background noises. Damn. But thank you all for showing up. Before I let you all go, though, I actually do want to direct you over to Suckmut is doing a stream for his editing of the Kome video. I'm going to post this link in the chat. Could you guys go, you know, show Suckmut some love. Tell him that Cool Kid sent you. Say Cool Kid says hi. I'll go ahead and post it in the chat. Hit him with that Cool Kid says hi. And then I'm going to just go ahead and type hi in his chat just to get the ball rolling. No, I'm not, actually. It didn't let me. The fuck? There we go. Anyways, go show Suckmut some love. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream here, though. So, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. VOD playlist is in the description. The Discord's in the description. New content whenever I get off my ass and make it. And I'll see you all next time. See ya.